Is it really?
Yeah, and everything's expensive over here.
Is getting mauled by a huntsman spider off like a real common thing?
You don't get mauled by them. You just get bitten, and then the toxins enter your bloodstream and kill you almost instantly. Come on.
Yeah, but is it like super common?
Jeez.
I mean, I'd say that it's probably more common than like shark attacks or something, but like not ridiculous. Like I find spiders all the time. You just gotta kind of keep an eye out. You just like
you just
like,
gotta
you'll
be
be
on alert all the
no,
time.
like seriously, like you'll pull like some sheets off the clothesline or something, and then I always check under the sheets because sometimes there'll be a spider like hidden underneath and started building its web in between the sheet.
Sneaky fuckers.
Always check your shoes and like bang your shoes out at the back porch and just kind of like make sure there's nothing hiding in them. The trapdoor
Jesus
spiders
Christ.
love to get in your shoes.
Oh my
Wow.
god!
Yeah, that's like scorpions here.
Can you imagine putting your foot in a trapdoor spider?
Talking about finding things on the clothesline, back when we had one, I had put out a pair of jeans to dry, and because it had rained, we had to leave them out. And by the time we could finally take them off a line, a bird had built a nest in my pants leg.
That's so cute, though.
My favorite pair of jeans, but they were left on the line for that fucking bird. We weren't destroying the nest.
There's nothing.
One time
no.
a cockroach flew at me.
Oh, yikes.
That was my trauma. That's what led me here.
A cockroach flew at you once? Oh,
Yeah.
poor you.
Oh, yikes.
like it was on my
That's
wall,
every-
and I
that's
saw
my
it.
day.
I saw it. No, it knew I saw it, and it flew right at me. I knew it was coming from my neck, so I had to like swing I think it was my pillow or my backpack or a binder or something, and I whacked it against the wall. I was so proud of myself. I felt like a killer.
I
I have a bottle of bug spray behind my computer screen because I will just see cockroaches and shit all the time.
Cockroach.
It's on sight when I see a cockroach. I will not hesitate.
Through hands.
I have a pair of Doc Martens that just always live outside because there's like a nest of scorpions in one of them, and I just don't want to fuck with it.
Oh,
No.
Yeah, that's fair. I wouldn't want to
It's
put
like-
the scorpions out.
You need to burn down your house.
Do you
I mean,
ever
I
have...
considered.
Burn it down. No. Do you have those high heels with like the point on them for getting into corners with a roach? Does anyone else? No? Okay.
I have no idea what you're talking
You
about.
have to be very precise. That's like a very
Yeah.
precise movement.
Roach step in heels, really pointed heels. Getting into the corner.
I do not wear heels, so
Oh,
I do
understood.
I do not have them.
That makes perfect sense now.
Somebody come get her. She's dancing like.
Yeah, I think my feet are too big. I'd have to like custom order them online or something.
Oh, probably not. What size in men's do
You
you
can
wear?
squeeze.
I'm a size 13 to 14, depending on the brand.
Jesus.
Okay, never mind. You can find heels.
I would fully be looking like Britta, like with those fucking huge boats attached to my feet if I was wearing heels, with like the extra support because my feet are so long and wide that they would have to have like, you know, where they have like a huge ass heel that's like thick at the front, couldn't wear like an actual pump.
Hey babe, do you know any queen who has like a size 14 in men? No? You don't? Okay. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. See that this is why the one time I did drag for Halloween, I just wore my docs.
Alright. No, be like Trixie Mattel, just don't wear shoes.
Oh my god.
I won my school's Halloween
And
costume contest last year.
And then I would call myself. I have to interrupt. I'm so sorry,
Go
but
ahead, yeah,
if I was not wearing shoes, I would be the drag queen barefoot Contessa. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. That was worth interrupting me. That was yes.
I think you win.
You need an award for that.
But you just won. Alright, last little bit of setup. I'm gonna put some ambient music on.
Woo.
Where's the bot channel? There we go.
She's dancing like a stripper.
Okay, I'm telling all of y'all, we gotta go to Uwu Point like before
We have
this
to.
campaign is over. Like,
That's the big boss is gonna be. I guarantee you.
I don't care we're on the other side of the map. We're going to Uwu Point at some point.
We'll fight a god at Uwu Point.
Cthulhu. We're gonna fight Cthulhu.
We're gonna fight Cthulhu at Uwu Point.
Cthulhu, what's this? Notices your tentacles?
Become aware of the old gods? Ooh. Alright, let's move right on into this recap. So, in the last session, we started off by all of you guys coming together in the Sentinel City of Negate for your own reasons. Eventually, you all made way to a carnival in town that was then disrupted later on into the night by a man who turned into a wolf mid-celebration. This was, of course, with no prop to the moon, since it was on the a waxing crescent at the time and not a full moon. Which led you to investigate the amulet around his neck. You brought it to the caravan leader, Mavra, and upon closer inspection through scrying, she found that, one second, going back, someone did identify, and they found that the item had properties that influenced the wearer's mind. The amulet also couldn't be taken off. And when Mavra scryed into it, she found that it was made in the ashwood and asked you to go and investigate it, or to stop the whoever was making these. And after some shady deals with a gnome, you guys got a horse and carriage, an ox and carriage actually, and an extra horse. So, don't know how you managed that, but nice. And that's where we're picking off now. You guys are about to go out of the gates of Negate.
So who had the necklace? Did we destroy it?
I think you have it wrapped up, if I'm correct.
I have it?
Yeah, right? You have it wrapped up because we weren't supposed to touch it.
I should mark it in my inventory then.
JD has it?
Yeah,
I have it.
We also can't destroy it because we have to go kill the Archfey who made it.
I mean,
that's roughly that.
That's a little extreme, but okay, we can do
like, who said anything about kill?
Also, who said anything about Archfey? We just
that
the
was
forest where there were Fey.
Yeah, you just know. You're just like, I know this storyline.
Did you read the DM's notes or something?
Like, you watch the live stream.
No, I have them delivered on Kethorp, in fact.
Wait. You found my notes? I don't even know where those are.
I'm going to call it a werewolf necklace.
Yeah, that's an accurate name.
Yeah.
Kidding. But yeah,
I put the Lego sheet.
You guys took a sleep in an inn or under a bridge or an alleyway, whichever suited you best. So it's bright and early in the morning. The sky is clear and the road is open in front of you.
I'm should be driving, right? I said I was driving, right?
I think I know the ox. Like,
okay, if you want to drive, go ahead. I don't want to step on you.
I'm gonna hop on that ox and I'm just gonna go all aboard.
Oh god.
On the ox, not on the carriage, but on the ox itself.
The ox itself. I'm not on the carriage, to be fair.
Okay.
Ben is probably looking around and making sure there's nobody coming.
Besides the regular ramble of people going about and doing their daily things, you don't see anyone with any intent of going for you. Is everyone headed out?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so the distance between the Ashwood and the Sentinel City of Negate is a little over 100 miles. So it is going to take a couple of days to get there. And if you just want to...
This map is not to scale.
I think we came to that every square is 45 miles. So
Jesus.
That's, a little over 100. But yeah, you guys head out.
The gate is huge.
Yeah, that means it's huge.
The gate kind of sprawls. It's the map sort of has it more as the general, this is Negate, but the area of itself is just kind of a sprawling of different sort of, what is it called, boroughs and small townships and things that make up the entire city. But as you guys continue, Crux riding the ox. What's the ox's name, by the way, Crux?
Shiny.
Shiny?
Yes, because ox always good when shiny.
Mm-hmm. We just refer to him as Shiny the Ox, or just Shiny?
That is his name. We do not refer. That was what he asked to be called.
He gives a low in agreement there. But he's not shiny at all. He's matte black.
Yes, very shiny. Yes.
Going down the road, You guys are continuing no problem. You're going to have to kind of go off the main trade roads. So you see in between like the Byfalls and Ray Bluff, there's that yellow road marker there. That is like a main well-traveled road. But to get from the Sentinel City of Negate and kind of head directly towards the Ashwood, it turns into more of like a kind of less traveled but still carriageable road. But just so you kind of know what's going on here. And you guys continue. On the first day, not too much happens. It's just a long day of arduous journey, and you see the night start to come. Right now, you are near the road, and there's a field by you. The field has a singular tree in it, and a couple rocks and sparse grass. It looks like a fine place to set up camp.
Y'all want to set up camp?
I got no objections.
All right. We stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I climb the tree?
What was that, Torin?
How far have we traveled?
So within this day, you've probably made it about halfway to the Ashwood, so you're somewhere here.
Okay.
Well,
That was terrifying. I just saw a giant red circle on my screen that I did not expect.
Yeah, that's actually a velour that just appeared.
We're definitely like not in the dangerous part of the Ashwood yet, right?
No, you're still a good ways out of it. And this area you're in right now, since it's not on the main trade road, it doesn't see a lot of travel through here. So it kind of just looks sort of abandoned and forgotten, really. To note, though, you are kind of getting to the border between the Federation of Vittorio and the Ashwood. So this is kind of leading out of the Kingdom of Londerwin.
Can I see if there's any plants that I can collect for potion brewing on the ground nearby?
Okay. What? Do we actually have a alchemy homebrew we put in this, by the way?
It's not an alchem. It's in the witch guide. I can send it to you if you want, and we can cover this after some other people do actions because it might take longer. So I can get everything together and then send it to you.
Okay, thank you. Because in my other campaign we have like this alchemy homebrew that we use with its own list of plants and such. But currently, so you have this sort of empty type road, and next to you is this field. It does have a singular oak tree and a couple rock piles and stuff around.
Able to climb that tree?
Oh, you definitely can. As climbable as any tree.
All right, I'd like to just station myself up there and just keep an eye out.
Okay. Do roll me an acrobatics just to see how well you climb up that tree real fast.
The first roll of the session.
Yeah.
Get your ones out now.
Okay.
You're gonna have to climb a tree?
Are you
That feels like a bad time to roll a 1.
Are you going to bed in the tree, by the way? It's a pretty tall tree, by the way, about 50 60 feet.
I could sleep in a tree. I can just tie a rope around my waist.
I've climbed a 60-foot tree before.
Oh god. Now I'm nervous. Hold on.
Well, if you're playing at Tabaxi, you have a climb speed.
I do have a climb speed. Did that change?
So
you should be fine.
Climb.
Yeah, you should be fine.
Oh, then yeah. So yeah, I have 20 feet of climb speed.
Good luck getting the cat down, though. Yeah, if you want to wrap yourself in that tree and go to bed for the night, you sure can. Now, are you tying yourself to a branch?
Yeah, like no, the base of the tree. Like I imagine, like kind of like a hippie, like do not cut down this tree, but like not really, and like I'm just keep making sure I don't fall.
Okay, so how far up are you?
How high? Like, can I get like a good like vantage point where I can still see the camp and like see like the surrounding?
You definitely can. For a 60-foot tree, I'm going to say anywhere above 45 feet up the tree is when it starts to thin out a little bit, so it's maybe a bit more dangerous to rest
So I'll
on.
go like at 45. Is that good?
Okay, yeah, totally fine. You wrap yourself in. By the way, the sun is beginning to sink. It's kind of that...
It's sinking! She's sinking!
literally, it's sinking into the waters of the sky. And so it is getting a good bit dark. Is anybody else setting up camp or doing anything specific?
As we're we're settling down, Torn will pull out her hunter's journal and try to read up on some stuff they might encounter.
Okay, in the Ashwood?
Yeah.
All right, roll me like a history check, just any knowledge you may remember or find in this book.
Okay.
According to my research,
and you're from Catholic,
the Ashwood.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's that in magic school bus? Phoebe? Is Phoebe the one who was always left?
Phoebe, I think.
That's a natural one. Wait,
oh.
Hang on.
Oh.
I have Hunter's Bane.
Okay.
I'll let you decide if this lets me roll this with advantage.
All right, beginning of
He is not Phoebe. He is Carlos.
Say you are from Cathorp, so you do know there is definitely Fae and undead around, and you have advantage on ability. Yeah, you have advantage on that. So we'll take. We'll take the 18. So being from Cathorp, and you and remind me of her name real fast.
Rinya.
Rinya. You would occasionally go out into the forest, and you remember every single time you'd have to go out, you would both be as armed as you possibly could be. It's kind of random what you can encounter in there. 1 minute you're traveling peacefully, and then you're flocked by a swarm of fae, or everything's going okay, you're checking for mushrooms, and out of that mushroom arises a skeletal hand. So there's a good bit of death and decay hanging about. Also, you remember in the Ashwood the Druids of Salvanus. Now, how long has your character been living in Cathorp?
Torwin's been living in Cathorp for about 10-ish years.
Okay. You remember these druids as just sort of being kind of not kill on sight, but very aggressive to anyone they find traveling through the forest. That's pretty much about you, as much as you can glean from your notes and such.
Okay, so be on guard all the time and never let your guard be on guard all the time is essentially the thing for going to the Ashwood. Got it.
I'm gonna move you guys to this little camp map.
Whoa.
A better idea of what's going on.
That's nice looking.
Crux, any more info on those plants you're looking for?
I am going to save the system for our next session just because it's too complicated and I don't really need it right now. So we'll go over it.
Yeah, I'll make sure to find a time to go over and read everything with you.
Can we put our tokens down?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh god, it's so blurry.
I think Charles would like to check around the tree and see if there are any holes. Like, not in the tree, but like next to the tree.
Like snake holes and things?
Just any holes in general.
Okay, roll me an investigation or a perception just to see if you see anything.
Alright. I'm gonna use my perception. It is better.
18? Yeah, you find a little burrow. It looks like an abandoned burrow where maybe rabbits or fox had stayed before. It does seem abandoned now, though.
Charles is going to put his ear up to it and see if he can hear anything.
Using the same perception check there, you listen in to this hole in the ground. And you know, dirt doesn't make too much of a sound. You do manage to catch with an 18 a little bit of a scratching noise.
I say, I heard something. Wait, I needed my voice. I heard something. It's not that different, but it's a little different.
What'd you find?
Some scratching noise coming from that hole. Don't know what it could be. Could be those damn drow.
we're in the middle of the forest. I don't think there are many drow out here.
I mean, there's already one.
I mean, you do have a magic sword that talks. I feel like on the bell curve of drow, you're way out there on the extreme end.
Still think we should check out the noise.
Is it coming from the tree?
It's coming from the hole in the ground. It's a hole big enough that you could reach your hand. And
Ren sticks her hand in the hole.
Oh god. Poor child.
Sticking your hand in the hole, you feel something kind of wet. Yeah, it's sort of wet and hard. It's not. If you were expecting like a shut up. If you're expecting like maybe like a worm or something, you'd expect that, or grubs, you would think it'd be a bit squishier. But this seems almost like as hard as rock or wood or something. But it's moving a little bit.
Can she try to yank it out?
You definitely can. I hate you all.
I'm not laughing.
It's pretty funny.
So you gotta yank it out. No strength or anything. You do. It does take a bit to pull it out, but when you do manage to kind of rip whatever it is you're holding out of the ground and pull it back, looking into your hand, you see what appears to be a wriggling index finger, like a bone.
Huh?
She screams
All
and
right,
throws it.
what the fuck?
Ma'am?
We gotta figure out what this is before we do anything else.
What are y'all screaming about down there?
Ren found the bone.
A bone?
That's moving.
What kind of bone? Like
she just
person?
points at it and it's like finger.
No, I think it is a toe. Is it not a toe? No. It doesn't it look like a little like a big toe?
Is anyone good at anatomy?
I mean, Ren's a cleric.
I can try.
Maybe we should just not mess with it. Maybe this person is like not meant to be messed with.
But do you not think it
moving,
could be lucky toe? No?
It's
Lucky.
moving, so I think this is something we should definitely check out.
Is it moving?
Yeah, it is moving. It is wriggling. This.
It's moving.
Oh no, then it's a problem. Then there's something going on. Yeah.
All right, yeah, I
detail.
draw Clarence.
You draw Clarence.
No. Everyone, what is wrong with nice toe? And can I go over to it and pick it up and look at it?
Yeah, you can.
Ew.
What are you doing with a nice toe?
Can I like see like if it like is a lucky toe or not?
Make a lucky toe check.
Ooh, would that?
Probably Arcana.
Yeah, I was thinking Arcana would for a lucky toe.
Tell me about lucky toe.
So this is a toe, or a finger, probably a finger, but might be a long toe. And you do notice that it has some sort of magic over, some sort of it's you haven't seen magic like this in a while. It kind of reminds you of aberration, where it's sort of a binding ward of some kind, but it's keeping something. And
continue.
It's about that time when you're sort of looking at this long toe, and Charles has just pulled out his sword, Clarence, that you see a skeletal arm stick out of the ground and start pulling itself up, and it kind of you hear like an eruption of earth just, and you hear several more of those around this campsite just.
Can I activate my Crimson Ray, or are we going straight into initiative?
Roll for initiative.
Guess who's a smart bitch? Me. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
The tree comes alive. Oh my god, the tree came alive.
That's what I was expecting to happen.
Yeah,
I didn't expect like shit to be popping up.
Ooh. Wait, not bad. We put it in Discord, right? Oh no, you have a thing here.
Yeah, and let me put up a turn tracker right here.
My initiative rolled twice, and it's not the first one.
11.12. Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
How do I move my initiative roll to the initiative tracker?
All you have to do is click on next to your token, and then just type it in.
Where's my token? It's not in the turn order.
So I'll put these skeletons on their own turn.
I turn on the Dex tiebreaker because it's just easier.
Oh, 1 second.
Ooh, who is she?
Let me delete a couple things and redo this because it seems to be separating in a really weird way.
Who is she?
So you're gonna have to retype your initiative.
Aren't you glad I was scared of the drow?
Not drow.
No, I was scared of there being drow.
Fair.
And then
the
I
drow went up
found
big. They're not
the
coming for
actual
you,
threat.
Charles. Don't think so high and mighty of yourself.
Clarence says to you, think as high as yourself as you want, but you are no better than I.
He's told you.
Joke's on you, I hate myself.
Alright, yeah, retype your initiative in real fast, and then I'll sort it.
Initiative.
Oh, initiative.
I would say after my toe check, I do not think that this toe is lucky at all.
It's the opposite.
Yeah, no shit.
Did Ren just curse?
Wow, I can't believe it. So out of character.
Aware. In case you are not aware, toe is not a lucky toe.
Thanks.
You do notice
Thanks, you witch boy.
the skeleton that has crawled out of the ground doesn't have a toe on its right foot. And the matching toe on the left foot is extremely long, longer than even the big toe. This is like the middle toe.
DM Chris,
Yes.
what is the visibility like?
The visibility outside, it's turning into nighttime, but there's still enough daylight that you're not restricted in your vision right now. Okay. That's a 12 for my skeletons.
How many these boys do we got? Alright, 2.
Many.
Do we all have dark vision? No.
Oh, there's more. What is that thing?
Which thing?
The blue one?
The thing that's in between all the rocks.
Why is this dice not rolling? There it
We
goes.
That's
don't
not
know
a
her.
skeleton.
We don't mess with her.
I don't like that man. He's
How about we-
funky.
And there's
How
a
about we-
blue thing?
Guys, why don't we just leave? We can just do that.
Yeah,
We
let's
can just
just
leave.
leave.
I
Go
think we
back.
should just leave.
Let's go home. Let's go apply at a job at this cafe I know.
Oh,
And
wait. That's supposed to be.
it's an
Dragons
essential
and
job, so
donuts.
he's got to be hiring.
I am fine with a cafe party. That'd be fine.
Campaign.
Yeah.
Coffee shop AU.
Like roll for days off.
Next campaign I run will be a bakery simulator.
That sounds dope.
Okay.
Maybe
here
like
we
a
go.
grandma pie maker. I'll have a good. Anyway, sorry.
Alrighty. So
Jenna from Waitress.
let's sort this initiative by descending. ART, you are up. Change of music is.
Wait, someone got a 22 though.
Oh, did it not sort proper?
No, I accidentally rolled twice because it didn't roll the first time, so I chose the first roll.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I literally got 4 hours of sleep last night.
What?
We're being attacked by YouTubers.
Oh no!
No, that was just Art accidentally accessed her memory bank.
I think I got 4 hours of sleep last night, but you know.
She starts sputtering out this other voice
Okay, there we go.
Horrifying. More like horror, am I right, like guys?
Yes, the wriggling hard wet thing in the hole. Okay. ART, you're
This
up.
time it was you.
No, I was just reminding you of how terrible you are. But ART, you are up. Three.
So yeah, I'm sending Drome over with my bonus action and is going to attack that one there with its ability.
Mhm.
I think Roll20's lagging because I've pressed it. But...
Yeah, Roll20 is lagging. It was lagging for me too. Let's go ahead and just refresh the page and see if that helps.
all together.
I love when technology fucks up. Just a little bit though.
You are not permitted to touch.
You may look, but you may not touch.
Them's the rules.
Looking's free. The rest will cost.
What video game is that from?
Fallout New Vegas.
Okay. That took a while to refresh. Anyone else?
Yeah.
She's
That's
taking
so
a
refreshing.
And it's taking like an age for all my character sheets.
Okay, it was working just fine last night.
Do you think it could be my Mac Pro 2014 with Retina display?
No.
That is
think-
still
I think
newer
it's
than
a
my
Dr. Pepper
computer.
one.
Don't talk shit.
Computers, what are those?
I'm
Alright,
doing mine off of a pizza box.
Connection timed
You
out
wish.
on my character sheet.
You're kidding.
I'm back. See,
Oh, dear.
because my 2014 Apple with Retina display never gives up on me.
Yeah, my connection
I'm doing
is
this
just
shit
fine.
on a Chromebook.
Oof.
That hurt my soul.
Okay,
I remember at one point I wanted a Chromebook.
let's try again. Oh wow, really slow, but it did it. So let's wait.
Something.
Is everybody back in?
And
Mine is reloading in still.
Yeah,
Okay.
Still look.
Crux is like a while down the initiative, so we'll just continue the battle for just a bit, and hopefully he loads in.
fuck you, Crux.
Fuck Crux. And but okay, what's Drone doing here?
That which I pressed like 30 seconds ago, but it finally went through.
Okay, 14 to hit.
Yes.
Okay, that hits and it deals 21 damage, or
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was-
I've got to click the damage, which I've done. It's just taking. There we go. 5 force damage.
lovely. Okay, so this thing that's popped out of the ground, it appears to be some spectral, dark creature. It appears to be humanoid in shape, and you can make out 2 arms, and the legs are kind of fading in and out of existence. This thing seems really incorporeal. And was that a physical attack the drone made?
Yeah, it's force damage. It like bites.
Well, it's force, not piercing, bludgeoning, or slashing. So
Gotcha. Yeah. So drone manages to hurt the wraith there. Is that what you're doing their turn? Or
Well, that's just my bonus action. And now it's actually Art's who is going to see that this has been successful. Are those rocks blocking Art's vision on it, or?
no, those rocks are a little bit smaller than the map would suggest. There, they.
Okay. Then Art is going to kind of. Her head is going to turn before the rest of her body, and then she's going to swivel to face it. And moving her rapier and shield out of the way, her chest plate with the gem set in it, which you can kind of see, which is like her heart, glows and fires out a firebolt.
And what?
A firebolt.
Okay, I didn't hear you.
we've got an Iron Man up in here.
And now I've just got to wait for it to actually come through on the chat.
I think your gifts are probably fucking it up.
No,
Asshole.
we were using gifts the other night. We were just fine.
I'm
well-
guessing 11 doesn't hit.
No, you do the turn, and your gem comes out and it casts the firebolt, but it goes right past this creature. It sort of almost hits it, but then it goes incorporeal and it goes right through. All right, takes us to Renesmee, unless you're moving.
Nope, that's it.
I forgot literally what I was doing as soon as you said my character name. Okay, so Ren looks to the fucker in the grass, like in the far left, that dude, and casts a guiding bolt at him. I'm gonna roll to see if it hits. Does a 21 hit?
It absolutely hits. It hits and a half.
Cool, okay, so that is a fuck ton of damage. 46. 14 fire damage. No, radiant damage.
Radiant, wow. So you fire this guiding bolt, it comes out of your holy symbol, and it hits this thing, and almost like fire, it sort of burns up this cloth that seems to envelop this creature. And you said 14 there?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Of radiant.
Alright. Alright. Is that your turn?
Yep.
All right. Boom. Okay. Charles, you are up.
All right. Charles is going to. He's gonna see what Ren did and make an Eldritch Blast on the same thing, and it has advantage, right? Because Guiding Bolt.
Yes.
Yeah, it should do. You see that this sort of radiant flame you've thrown at this creature sort of sticks around and it's glimmering around it. And what was sort of incorporeal in shape now has more definitive look to it.
That was a really long time.
The 23 hits.
And then I click the damage thing, and it is loading. 7 points of force damage.
Nice.
Plus, already. Let me just double check if that already included my agonizing blast. I think it did. Yeah, it did. Okay. So 7 points of force damage.
Great. You moving?
No.
Gotcha. It is this Wraith's turn. It kind of turns to look at the party and kind of cracks its neck a bit. As it turns, it just goes, looks at you, and its jaw
Did it mouth
unhinges.
pop?
Yeah, its jaw unhinges a bit and goes, and looks at you and says, "You have desecrated my place of death. For this, you must suffer." And he...
Alright, fuck off, mate.
This is what we get for sticking our hands in holes.
And it turns towards the healthy-looking dwarf who looks like it has a lot of life to spare, and floats towards you. Yeah.
Gets
Will
attack
Drone get an
opportunity.
attack of opportunity?
He does.
Does? All right.
You should.
You got this, Drone.
But did you know Drone has Sentinel and he can't move, right? Right?
Oh yes, how I forget. Drone has that sentinel feat. He also has a pole arm.
Because every feat ever.
5 feet, 5 to hit.
Yeah, so
Well, that's a
if
natural
it
one,
was-
so.
Ooh, yikes. No, as this thing sort of phases through the rock, almost as if it wasn't even there, Drone sort of jumps and hits the rock itself, and not the spectral presence there, as it continues towards Toro and just... and it is going to make an attack at you.
Mhm.
24 hit?
Oh yeah, that hits.
Ooh, I was gonna cutting words in, but I don't know if I can do that. Not yet.
Like, even if you rolled a 6, it's still would
Yeah,
hit.
no, I'm like, no, she's not that high. You see, no sir.
Double check here. Yeah.
Sorry.
Ooh, that's going to be 20 points of necrotic damage, as it's almost like stealing your life away from you.
Snatch.
Is my max HP reduced by that amount?
Yeah, I need you to make me a DC 14 con save.
Holy shit.
That's a fail.
Your maximum HP is reduced by 20.
Alright, okay.
It was nice knowing you.
By 20. My max HP is now 14.
Ooh. As this thing just starts draining your life from you, you feel yourself sort of wither, and your dwarven heart that usually beats red blood strong is kind of getting weaker, and you feel a little faint from that. That is going to be its turn. Yeah, that's its turn.
That's pleasant.
And after the Wraith, JD, up in the tree, you are up.
It's me! What am I supposed to do?
Just help me, you fuck.
Is getting out a weapon in like an action bonus set? Is that anything?
Free action to get out a weapon.
I would like to take out my... Okay, so here's the thing. I have a light crossbow, but I don't have any bolts. Should I have bought some?
You should have bolts, just...
I should have bolts?
Yeah,
So,
with
how
your
many-
starting equipment. I think you have 20 starting?
Yeah, the bar doesn't have any bolts. It didn't say it did at least, so I don't know what you want to... Do you want to just say
Yeah.
I have bolts? Or...
Well, add 20 bolts to your inventory because that's
Okay.
usually what you start off with.
All right, thank you. Write that down real quick. Okay, so I would like to just take aim. Am I able to get a sight in front of the one that just hit Torin?
Yeah, you can see through the branches here. You're not like within the tree itself. Like you are, but it's not like a super thick tree. It's an oak.
All right, I'm gonna take aim and I'm gonna fire a bolt at it.
Okay. And it's also, going into to autumn, so it's not as lush as it normally would be.
Don't fuck me in Gil. Ooh, this one might hit. So let me just add. Okay, the 17 hit?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Oh god, I haven't done damage ever. Hold on.
It's D8 plus your crossbow. Your dexterity mod.
Okay, so it's just. Oof. That's a total of 6 damage.
Okay. You fire a crossbow bolt. It streaks through the air, slamming into this wraith, or it should have slammed into the wraith, but kind of passes through. It seems to affect the wraith, like it reels back a little bit, but the hole you made with the bolt just closes back up.
Oof.
But it still did take damage from that.
With my bonus action, I don't think I would know Torin's HP was like reduced, right? Or do I know that?
You wouldn't know that. You've never really come across something like this, especially JD.
Yeah, so I'm gonna just cast Healing Word at first level on Torwin because I saw them get hit.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it, but
Yeah.
don't think it's really working.
So you cast your Healing Word on him, and as you speak, the golden lettering flies around him and attempts to sort of heal him, but it can't find any wounds. It's like trying to reach inside of him to heal him from the inside, but it's like repelled out, and
so
the spell dissipates.
Would I be able to take note of that? Would I understand?
Yes. I think you would see he doesn't get any better.
Okay.
What did you say to
All
Merlin,
right.
by the way? Okay. Moving off JD, it is the skeleton's turns. This one that just climbed out of the ground, missing its right toe, looks at Charles just and picks up its kind of old rusted blade, reaches around and goes to hit at you. See if it can manage.
Reach around.
Could you not? 8.
8 misses.
If only I had my lucky toe. And
I have the lucky toe now, and I would wave it at it.
this one is going to make its way to Crux. And this one, oh shit, make its way up to Torwin, and they're both going to take some attacks. So 23 on Crux.
Yo, that hits.
And the 6 on Torwin. So the one that shambled up to Crux sees that you're holding its fallen comrade's toe, and with like this sort of anger, as angry as a skeleton can be, attacks you, and that's going to be 5 damage. This other one comes at Torwin and just straight up misses as it kind of runs over to you. A little rusty there. But Torwin, you are up.
Oh, I'm in a bad place. Okay. So, because I have to do this, I will activate my Crimson Right.
Mhm.
So I will take.
Ooh,
1
okay.
point
Okay.
and I'll just look around at the folks at my eyes near me and say, "Sorry, this got hurt." And I say, I call upon my pack with thee. Get these fucks away from me. And I cast Arms of Hadar.
Ooh. Is that a 6 to hit? Or wait,
No, that's
wait,
that's 6 necrotic damage.
Oh, okay, I see.
But
Gotcha.
everyone within a 10-foot radius needs to make that strength save.
I succeed.
Uh,
Take
Does that
half.
include me? No, that's not include me.
That doesn't. That includes Charles.
let's see.
Haha, I
So-
am 15 feet away.
Surprisingly,
Just said it.
something that has been dead for maybe 100 years. Not the strongest. So let's see what the wraith rolls. Whenever the rolls go through, oop, that actually saved. And the skeleton. Flat one there. Flat ass save. And the skeleton saves. So you invoke this Crimson Rite. You only take 1 point of damage, which is a little bit odd. You like reach in, trying to use your blood for energy, but you feel like most of your life force has been drained, and then you go to use this Arms of Hadal to push them back, and they manage to resist. It's a lot weaker than you're used to. I will roll for the skeleton back here too. He gets knocked back. 10 feet?
Well, no, he just doesn't have a reaction.
Oh, it doesn't have a reaction.
Yeah.
Oh,
Means
okay,
I
see.
can run.
Oh, so yeah, you can run away, no opportunity attack.
Well, I
Run
can.
away.
Well, I can't run away because these two still succeeded.
Okay.
I know you
They-
can't, but I can, and I can come over and help you.
Yeah. I'm going to move 5 feet over to here, so hopefully I can't be as surrounded. That's my turn.
So you do see that the Wraith doesn't take any damage from this 6 necrotic, but oddly enough the skeletons do. They kind of brunt a little bit, and they will take some damage there. Okay, next up is Crux.
Hello. I will see that I've been injured at this point, and I'm kind of leaning back, and like a sense of survival takes over my body, and I reach deep inside and I unleash my radiant soul. And I'm going to sprout some wings and attempt to get away from this dude by flying up into this tree over here.
I should read your class. I have absolutely no idea what it does.
That's my race. That's
Yeah.
my. That's
it is.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Aasimar.
you went Asimar.
You're an
Yeah.
Aasimar?
Oh yeah, I forgot that you
Yes.
and Ren are the same race. Y'all
Yeah.
both have light wings.
Wait,
So-
oh wait,
Uh-huh.
you just yeeted up in the tree?
I did.
Everyone
I
I'm a
dead
else.
ass was
squishy
about to
ranged
do that.
spellcaster.
You didn't have any humans?
Wow.
No humans. So the
I
rest
thought
of the
we
party.
stand-
This whole
we
time I
love
thought Crux was a
diversity.
human.
We love a diverse party.
I mean, I'm half human.
Doesn't
never
count. So the rest of this party is sort of focused on these skeletal enemies, but from behind you, you see this golden light as Crux just erupts these radiant wings from his back and flies into the tree, getting away from the skeleton. How far up in the tree are you? Just so I can-
I have a flying distance of 30 feet.
Okay.
They were like right below me.
Yeah, 15 feet below JD. Okay. This skeleton sort of looks at you, sort of reaching at you with its arms as you fly off. And it is going to try to make an opportunity attack there.
No, Crux.
But it does miss. So as you kind of fly out, the radiant light almost throws it off guard, and it shirks away from it, scared of the holy energy. And yeah, that's not your turn, I think, right?
That's one action.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Next up is this pale ghost over here. You see this ghost doesn't exactly look hostile towards the party, though. Quite opposite, in fact. It flies over towards this wraith, and it attempts to attack him.
Is
Oh,
Ghost
Is it
I have
friend.
attacked that.
it like his girlfriend or something? And she's like, "Get your ass home."
What have you done? I told you about this. We can't. Every adventure that runs by, we can't be attacking them.
Every fucking adventure that comes
every
by this
fucking
fucking tree,
time.
you fucking do this all the time, Dawn. I'm fucking sick of it.
Its name is Dawn now. And it is it is going to attempt to possess the wraith. You see
That's
its
cool.
I don't want to be that.
I
that
know.
Guy.
I know.
We stand a powerful woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Like, I'll take all the help I can get because I cannot survive another hit from that wraith.
So I am reading it. It says a possession of one humanoid. And it technically shouldn't affect this wraith. But
It's your game, bro. Run it how you want.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it can try to do it. Let's see here. Wraith rolls charisma save. The Wraith does pass the charisma save, though.
Oh.
So you see this ghost fly up to this Wraith with sort of a kind of hatred in its eyes, and it attempts to take control of it to pull it away from Torwin, but the Wraith just resists and throws it off.
Torwin will shout, "Appreciate it, loss."
She sort of gives you like this passing ghost glance.
Oof.
Like this really has nothing to do with you.
We're sorting something out. Excuse me, we're sorting something out. So if you can, like,
This is like our thing.
this is like our thing.
And it's ART's turn. I'm guessing Drone moves on your initiative.
Yeah, Drome, I actually read it. I was wrong to move it first. Technically, it moves directly after my turn, and I use my bonus action to control what it will do in its turn directly after me. So I couldn't have sent it out first, but it didn't make any difference in the action what happened last turn, so that's good.
Okay.
But ART is gonna swivel its body again and move towards this one here. And attempt to skewer it with its...
17 hits. That SAO.
Yes, it is. So 8 piercing damage, and in case it makes any difference, it is a magic weapon against these.
Okay. Here. That's the skeleton that was... Yeah, that's the one that was already hit. So you see the skeleton that failed its save earlier crumple to the ground, the one that's missing its toe. It is dead.
So yeah, retrieving my rapier, I kind of like flourish it and go, "Enemy eliminated. You can thank me later."
Thank you. No, thank you.
With my reaction, I'm going to amplify my Curse of the Fallen puppet. So this lets me affect
nice.
something without blood.
Okay. So that creature comes back.
So it's going to hit that skeleton that you just moved.
You have copied it too many times. Here we go. Which skeleton? Point on it.
This skeleton, the one next to me.
Okay. So it's gonna make an attack at him with its sword. Oh. As it's just stabbed by ART, it goes to fall to the ground. You quickly bring it back to life for its final act, and it goes shambling towards this other one, throws out its sword, and falls to the ground before it can hit.
Well, I take 4 points.
Damage?
Yep. Because I had to amplify it because it didn't have blood.
Oh.
And I'm going to use my bonus action to control Drome.
Alright.
And same as last turn.
Munch them, Drone.
I assume that misses, although is it getting flanked right now?
We didn't actually decide what our flanking rolls was. For right now, let's just say it gives you advantage.
Sweet, so the 21 will definitely hit.
Yes.
3 force damage on the Wraith.
Nice. We meant to talk about that at the end of last session, but I totally forgot. We'll do it tonight, though. Okay. Drone flies over from where it had just ran into the rock and goes to attack at this Wraith and deals 3 force damage. Lovely. That takes us to Renesmee.
Cool. So, seeing everyone getting hurt, she just kind of screams, and the halo that's around her head glows really brightly, and she's gonna channel divinity Radiance of Dawn. And so every hostile creature that doesn't have total cover within 30 feet must make a con saving throw or take 2d10 plus 3 radiant damage.
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty.
All right.
She's built to fuck with undead.
Hell yeah.
That is how clerics work.
Yeah.
I thought you were just gonna say she's built.
She's built.
I mean,
Built
she-
to
That's all
fuck.
she
She
Built
is
to fuck. Period.
That's what I thought you were saying, and I was like, that does not sound like right. She is built to fuck.
Yeah, the clerics of Claystone have a quite aggressive way of spreading
They
the word.
really get it on.
Is a 13 going to save for this skeleton here? What's the DC? Sorry.
No.
Okay.
14.
All right. And that one fails as well. Sorry, the 13 was right. The 12 actually isn't the skeleton. Why didn't I change that? It should be a 2. So that second one is actually an 11. Both of those fail. Does the ghost have to take one as well?
No, because she doesn't see the ghost as hostile to her.
Okay. This other skeleton's going to try to save, so they all fail. Roll
Nice.
damage on that. Wow.
15 damage, 15 radiant damage to all of them.
So you do as you say, you begin to scream, and this golden halo appears above you and bursts out this wave of light that takes over these two skeletons, and you see them almost disintegrate and fall to the ground. This wraith is broken up a lot, but it does manage to form itself back together. It is kind of blinking out in and out more than it was earlier, though. You are a murdering machine. This wraith is not looking healthy. Alright, that is Charles. You're up.
Charles is going to run at the wraith. Move over there. He's going to cast a spell, which is... How am I forgetting the name of the spell? It is branding. Nope, or it is branding smite.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's branding smite, and he's gonna make an attack with Clarence as Clarence glows brightly with radiant energy.
I forgot how how radiant this party was. A 24 does hit.
They're very radiant.
I rolled a 24. All right, and then I'm gonna roll this along with 2d6 radiant, and it can't become invisible until this,
Okay.
which is a minute.
How much damage does it take?
7 plus, because I forgot to roll. I forgot to do Clarence's smite. 7 plus 7, 14 damage.
Okay, ouch.
And 7 of it is radiant, if that matters.
Radiant.
Because it's a wraith, so I thought it might
So
be.
yeah, I think it's
mentioning.
3 slashing, and then the radiant damage.
Yeah, it actually is invulnerable to radiant damage, oddly enough.
And also the slashing's magical. If that
The
also
slashing's magical? Okay. Good.
Yeah, it's magic sword.
Since it's coming from Clarence.
We have matching magic swords.
So
that's
Clarence
nice.
begins to glow. He's not used to radiant energy. You, being his wielder, sort of surprises him a little bit. He's like, "Oh, what the hell is this for me?" And oh, him. Okay. And attacks at this wraith. And this wraith looks like it's hanging on for dear unlife.
However, it does
I
get
see
its
you did
turn.
there. That was clever.
And it is now its turn. Oh boy.
You're stuck.
So it's going. It's just going to try to make another life drain.
Okay, on who?
I'm
Torrin.
going to say on Torwin.
Okay.
Let me double check to see if bonus I can do that. No, it's a full action. It's actually going to. I just now read this over again. I was making sure it says what it said. It's going to use Create Spectre on the skeleton that just died violently, and attempt to bring back an ally. into the fray. So the wraith targets a humanoid within 10 feet of it that's been dead for no longer than a minute, rises as a specter in space of the corpse, is under the wraith's control. The wraith has no more than 7 specters. Okay. And I don't know if the specter gets to act on this turn or not. No, right?
I think it rolls its own initiative.
It says the wraith has control of it, so I think it's on the wraith's initiative.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say that's a full action for the wraith, and it's brought back this specter. It's the same skeleton from before, but you can see through them more than you used to. And that's its turn. JD, you're up.
I would like to cast Vicious Mockery at the wraith.
Okay. I have to make a what's his name?
Wisdom save.
Wisdom.
Wisdom save 14.
Gotcha.
Just roasting the shit out of the wraith.
What do you say to the wraith?
I'm gonna say, you're nothing. You're nobody. You were nothing in life, and now you're nothing in death.
It
The
fails
fact that
its
your
save.
girlfriend had to come here and get your ass is embarrassing. Just die already.
It's not my girlfriend. It's John Henges. And it sort of looks sad to be insulted like this. And roll the damage on that, or does it have disadvantage on its next attack? I don't remember.
It's
It's
damage
both.
and has
Both.
disadvantage.
Gotcha.
It's 1d4. Let me roll that. I don't know why I don't need the lion. Plus anything? No, it's just 1d4. It's 3 damage.
3. Okay.
And then isn't
And-
it also the next attack's at disadvantage?
Yes, next attack roll is at disadvantage.
All right. Is that your turn?
And bonus action, I would like to cast Bardic Inspiration on Renesmee.
Okay. Here we go. Torin, you are up. This wraith looks like it's about to leave this plane for good this time.
I will booming blade him.
I will be doing a rendition of Halo as my Bardic Inspiration.
I have advantage because I'm flanking and all that, right?
Yes.
Excellent.
Most excellent. All right. How do you want to do this, Torwin?
I want to take my axe. It's glowing. It's kind of crackling with lightning. And just jump up to the height of this wraith and slash it shoulder to hip. And then just kind of shield bash it over.
Beautiful. You do that, and as you do, the wraith sort of explodes. You see this like black viscera type ichor kind of fly around, exploding from the center point here, and it looks like it sort of splatters on you and then just fades away, as if it was never there to begin with.
Does that mean the specter disappears, or is it still out?
The ghost is still there.
If does the ghost seem like she's gonna start some shit?
No, she seems incredibly peaceful.
She's like, I wanted to kill him.
Okay,
She does
I
appear
will-
to be fading, though.
I'll put my axe back in. However, I'll store my axe and just kind of sit down for a second, just go. Oh.
DM, what check would I make to see like what kind of ghost it is? I don't know, like if it was dependent on the wraith to be there, if it's like some deity's thing.
You can roll insight, and also you can speak to this ghost as it's sort of fading away.
Roll insight.
Is this Wraith's servant still here?
Oh,
The specter?
I leave with my
Ooh,
master.
Whole ass 7.
7. You can't tell too much besides face value. It doesn't seem to be attacking.
It's a
And also,
ghost.
I'm gonna fly down from the tree because I still have wings for a whole minute, so I'm getting back down. Just saying.
Okay. What are we doing?
Torn kind of looks up at the ghost and just says, "So, you come here often?"
So you look at this ghost. It appears to be a young human woman. She's wearing a garb that looks a little dated, and she sort of has taken on a bit of a peaceful face right now. And she turns to look at you, and she says, "Yes, I've been here very often for the last. Oh, I seem to have forgotten how long I've been here."
Well,
Who are you, Miss Ghost Lady? Why?
You see, that wraith you just killed, he was a soldier. This used to be where my family farm was. This tree here was just a sapling back then. There was a battle and, let's say the farm burned. The dead wraith was one of the soldiers who died in the battle, but he wasn't on our side. And I swore to stay here until he was slain. And thanks to you guys, I can leave.
Why has your spirit and his spirit lingered in this place?
I believe his spirit still thinks he's on the battlefield. I stayed here because of that. I didn't want him hurting anyone else.
it's a bit
And
like
you-
flat.
What was that?
You
Tor
have
just kinda
lived. Sorry.
Sorry.
After you.
Tor just kind of holds like the hole in her side from like where the wraith clawed her, and just goes, "It's a bit late for that."
Well, you lived. I will admit, I didn't do a very good job in that fight. Good thing I'm fading away.
Yeah.
What?
Look off to your eternal rest and all that.
Oh, yeah, you know, I have an afterlife to look forward to. You though, sucks to be you.
Have you lived in this forest your whole life and afterlife?
Yes, and I'm quite ready for a change of scenery. Fades off.
Oh.
Crux, I know how much you want to do a seance, but like, you have to let. Sometimes people just need to move on.
Immediately try and bring her spirit back with the seance. I'm just and bind it.
She's
I'm
still,
just kidding.
She's still
Bind it
kind
to
of there.
this horrible
and,
field forever.
She says, "Shut up, dwarf. Imagine if your family was killed. I'm still fading away. The afterlife is really far off."
I give a stout middle finger to.
You can't see it, but you feel like that ghost may have just made a rude gesture as it disappears into the ethereal void.
And you know what? That's how the relationship between the undead and blood hunters should be.
Torwin, are you okay?
I'd be lying if I said it was.
You weren't. I tried to heal you, but you were in a tunnel. What was going on?
Something like that. Could I do like a Arcana or like religion check? See if I know when this stuff will fade or if it does fade?
Yeah, roll either of those. Which one you think?
With advantage, because Hunter's Bane.
Right. So with a 23, you already begin to feel the life kind of not surging back to you, but it is trickling back. You kind of feel tired as well after all the adrenaline leaves your body, and feel like it's about time for a good night's sleep.
I think I'll be fine after a long rest.
All right.
I'm just gonna go up against the tree, just kind of sit down, lay my weapons down, and just kind of lay back and immediately just pass out. Yeah, exactly. Like full on like dwarf snore.
Oh, like actual, like really sawing logs, just
Like chainsaw. Yeah. Definitely has like some sleep apnea. But
yeah, he stops breathing for a second, and at his health, you kind of get worried for him for a second, and he goes.
So Crux was the ASMR, right? The one with the wings. Just want to make sure.
Yes, I am.
Okay. So Ren turns to Crux and it's like, "You can do that too? I've never met anyone else that could grow wings. Cliff said that it was really rare and that people could do it. It was weird, but like, I didn't know other people could do it."
Little one, you do not know others like us?
No, I don't. I've really only known like 10 people at WoW.
Was your breathing facility small and tiny?
My what?
Or
What?
you the condition that I am afflicted with is due to a breeding program that I was part of. You see, the Oracle breeding program was wonderful place. They have great food. They have really nice window, big window. Yes, we are direct descendants of an angel of the god of fate, and we were bred in the facility for that purpose. And I was sure that you must have come from a similar program.
No.
Oh, oh, well, this is awkward. I feel strange with sharing now.
I lived in an alley.
An alley.
Yeah.
I mean, I think alleys can be comfy. I do not see problem. But yes, I had known many like us, but they have since most of them cannot speak anymore. I am very rare for my cousins and second cousins and third cousins and fourth cousins and fifth cousins and sixth and the sixth cousins too.
That's a lot of cousins in.
Yes, breathing facility does not mean that you have little family.
Oh, I thought he was saying breathing facility, and I was so confused.
Yeah, that's what I thought that for a second too.
He hears her thinking that it's breathing facility and says, "Yes, we take very deep breath." Yes.
It's just a group of people. All of them have like CPAP machines and stuff.
That's what I was
We're hoarding all of them. Yeah, we're hoarding all of them. Yes. I am defunct Oracle. That is what Ma used to call me when she find me in middle of road after escaping from facility.
Wow, that sounds like not fun.
Not fun? Why you think?
Well, you are fun, but the breathing facility didn't sound fun.
Oh, then you've never been to one, young one. Go to Florida next year, then you see. Okay.
No.
Florida?
Florida, fantasy
Yeah, did you say Florida?
I choked a little and I said facility. Sorry, I got flying throat.
We don't talk about Florida.
Go to Florida next year.
It is wonderful place where darkness dwells and little spiders make little biting noise to put you sleep. Very nice.
That sounds like Florida.
It really does.
Charles just turns around and says, "Sounds like my home."
Your home?
Well, it used to
What
be
is my
home.
home?
My home. My home.
Is my home nice city?
Charles, are you okay? Did you take any damage?
I took no damage. I'm totally fine.
Good for you.
Oh yeah, I should have asked. Is anybody besides like the person that's very obviously injured?
I think we all got pretty good. I think we're all pretty good except for Florida.
I have little injury, but I just have dinner for that, and then I'm gonna cast Goodberry.
Bro, just let me do my fucking job and declare it.
Yeah,
I have good job. I have good job. Thank you. And I'm going to chomp down on some berries.
So you pull a little bit of mistletoe out of your component pouch.
I can just can I just use my focus or no?
Oh yeah, you can. I was just flavoring here.
Okay. Let's get it. Let's make it spicy. Let's do it.
Which people know those are obviously poisonous, but you cast a little bit of magic on them. They didn't change in appearance or anything. When you go down chomping.
Delicious.
Who wants to keep first watch?
I can do it.
I will.
So before we do all this, though, I'm gonna go over to where the wraith was, and set up a magic circle. But like as an artificer, it's all like cables and copper wires and like light bulbs and like diodes. And ritual cast detect magic.
Okay. Oh shit! What was that?
And then I'm going to walk the perimeter of this. Now that we know is a like ex-destroyed farm, and just check the entire perimeter to see if there's any more like undead magic around us.
So you continue doing that, searching for things. In the place where the wraith died, you get a little bit of white light there, as if something's kind of buried in the ground a little bit, where the wraith sort of spawned up from.
I move back and I let Drome dig it up.
Drone goes and digs it up, and you find a little black ring.
I get him to like keep it like in his mouth, and then walk back over to the rest of the group and show it to. Hello, friends. Drome has found a small black ring buried in the ground, which is detecting high levels of magic. Do you think it could be dangerous, like the amulet?
Someone
I
should
would-
probably
I-
identify it, you know?
I would also know what type of magic it is from Detect Magic, like what school it's from.
Necrotic. Necromancy school.
Yeah. It is a necrotic ring.
Probably shouldn't wear it then.
Does anybody have identify?
I think Crux.
Would you like me to taste ring?
No.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I mean, like, it's not harmful if you
eat the ring,
taste it, but
please.
just don't put it on.
How else will I identify jewelry?
Looking at it.
I will try, and I'll hold my
Okay.
hand out.
Jerome isn't quite ready to give it up to you, because Art goes, I don't think that you should touch it. The amulet shouldn't be touched either. Perhaps I, as a non-living construct, could touch it instead, and see what happens.
I don't know. That doesn't sound like a good idea either. We should.
Well, who can identify it?
Can
They
I-
should
Maybe we
have
just-
it.
I can, but I have
Can
to
I
touch
make
it.
a- Can I make an Arcana check?
Who is saying that?
Art.
Yeah, you can make an Arcana check on this, just to think.
It's a ring.
Magic ring.
I'll also make one from looking at it, I guess. Or should I do? Yeah, I guess.
15. Again, you sort of recognize this ring is magical in some way, paired with the knowledge that Art said it is necrotic. You kind of think back on the history of what you know of magic in different schools. You would think if this is some ring with any sort of necromancy in it, that it is meant to be worn. And if it's meant to be worn, it might not necessarily harm the wearer outright.
I think that this is meant to be worn and will not harm the wearer outright.
Anybody
Okay,
wanna
if
try-
you sustain major structural integrity damage, that will be your own problem. Here you go. And Jerome opens his mouth again.
Do I sign release form from mechanical animal?
There is no need for any form. We have a verbal contract.
I have recorded
Alright,
every
alright.
conversation ever.
I will hold out my hand to snatch up that ring and cast Identify.
So, casting Identify on this ring, you find it's a band of loyalty. And what it does is, whenever the wearer drops to 0 hit points, it's almost as if a sort of invisible necrotic knife comes over and slits the throat of the wearer, invisible to anyone else around them, and they instantly fail all death saves, as not to be taken in for questioning.
Jesus.
I
So
will
it's just like
share
a double kill,
that.
so it just kills you?
Yeah, so if you fall to 0
It's like
hit
it's like a
points,
pill, right?
yeah, it's
It's
like
just
the
a
little
cyanide
cyanide
pill.
capsule.
Like, you're taking me. I don't know if I want that.
Would anyone like ring for end life well?
I think we should sell it or like get rid of it or something. Cause
Do you want me to hold on to it? I'm holding on to everything crazy apparently.
I will ask robot friend, or that's not a word, mechanical friend.
what's a robot?
I choke
What's
a
a
little
friend?
fly. There are many flies in the area. This is forest. This, you know. Mechanical friend, would you like hold? Do you find?
I
I
will just
work on
let Jerome
art?
keep it inside his body.
I will then toss to drone, like it's like a little toy. Yeah.
You toss it to Drone. And you see like a hatch in the back of Drone's body like opens up and quickly snags the ring and sinks it in there in some sort of internal holding space.
That's honestly pretty cool.
Don't worry, if Jerome dies, I can just reconstitute him from other metals and trace materials.
That is honestly a good question. Would Art and Drone be affected by regular healing spells, or do they need to heal on their own, like with scrap
So
metal?
no, you actually can't heal me, but I have a way to do it myself.
Oh,
So
sorry.
I will show you what that is.
It requires 3 skill checks, all above 15.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
It's kind
So
of like
so
Bastion.
Jerome has a skill called Repair, which is 2d8 plus 2 healing to non-living constructs, and then Steel Defenders can be affected by Mending, and I have Mending as a cantrip as Art, so we can heal each other, but you can't heal us.
Okay, that's a good limitation there.
Nice.
All right, we're gonna take a long rest and go to sleeps on the ground.
All right. Who wanted
Do we
first
need
watch?
to make perception checks or like we fine?
If someone wants to take watch, they can.
Like, how many watches do you think? Like, is we gonna do shifts? Are we just gonna do just one?
Art can do every watch.
Well, you don't
Because-
sleep.
Yeah, I don't do a long rest. I spend 4 hours oiling myself, but I have like full awareness of my surroundings and don't require to actually like sleep. So Art can
useful.
just always do what.
It's always good to have extra eyes. So probably have
Yeah.
another
But
person.
Drome is there too.
Someone else.
Drome has a passive perception.
Like, what if
Drome
something
has
happens
better
to you? What if
passive
somebody?
perception than Art, by the way.
What if somebody spills water on you? Then we're toast. Then we're just fucking dead.
I think I've.
I don't think you understand clockwork, you little bitch.
Oh, well, thank you.
You hear Drone
Wow.
goes, Can I say Drone talks like Bastion from Overwatch?
Oh yeah, sure. I was just doing it as like a kind of like robotic little dragon, like a
Okay.
like it can kind of purr and it makes like a fax machine noise, like
Or like the old like internet dial-up.
yeah, dial up. That
Alright.
when it does force rend, that's the sound it makes.
If he dies in your revival, does the XP Windows reset?
Alright. So everyone going to sleeps? You can mark off you
Right.
gain your what's that?
Do I have like enough? It would take an hour each. But I'll get my right spell. But like I could give everyone like a little bonus for the next day, just because I have the spell slots for it. Right? No, I cast 3 level 1 spells, so I have one more.
Yeah, if you start off with
Cool.
4.
Okay.
And does it take an hour to do, or is it?
It takes an hour. Yeah, it does. It takes an hour, and per one person. Hold on. Let me pull it up. There we go.
Excuse me.
Oh, I don't know who to give bonuses to.
Hello, my
Uh,
name is Dawn.
Go on, I don't know.
Who wants it? I'll take one.
Okay, so we have 1 hour.
Uh,
I guess that's it.
yeah.
All right, so you can
Everybody else is good? Okay.
It's more like that's a lot of money to spend at this level.
No, I can...
It's
Can
25
I-
GP worth of incense and herbs.
Which the spell consumes.
Oh, well, that's his choice. You want to see
I
that?
can't use my focus to substitute the...
No,
Because
if it has a
specifies as
material
gold
cost.
Oh, the
I
new shouldn't do it.
see. Okay, then I'll hold off on it for now. I
Wait,
thought I could chat.
Doesn't
Oh,
Identify have a gold cost?
It doesn't consume the pearl,
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
but it does need that 100 GP pearl.
Gotcha. All right. So he casts Coming of Age on you. Target's position. What skills did you choose, by the way?
oh shit. I said I wasn't gonna do it.
Yeah,
'cause
we
I
were
thought I
gonna
could channel it.
Oh,
we're
okay.
gonna hold off on.
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys go to sleep. ART-1 begins oiling herself and just sort of getting ready for the next day. Roll me a perception check if you will, ART.
Can Drome do it as well? Since he has
Yes.
better percep-
Since he is patrolling with you.
Oof.
Gotcha. So the night goes on pretty peacefully. ART-1, you don't notice too much. Again, this place is pretty abandoned. Not many people travel down this way. You know, you hear the regular sounds of wildlife, and the sun rises up in the morning with no conflict.
Nice.
Somebody made their sacrifice to the sun god, so. Good. That is not
You wake up
that
and
is,
say, "Good, my sacrifice went great."
Do we have to consume rations? Are we keeping track of that?
I am not going to do that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mostly
So merciful.
same thing with like drawing a weapon as a free action. It's
Yeah.
just frustrating at that point.
I'm gonna climb down.
As long as it doesn't get like ridiculous, you know. Alrighty. So you guys, I'm guessing you hop back on the wagon with Shiny, the ox.
Shiny, he's so shiny.
And he kicks off as you guys continue towards the Ashwood.
Excellent.
Back to the world now.
Mhm.
So you guys continue for a good part of the day. You make it the other half to the Ashwood. You don't notice too much on your way there, but slowly as you get closer to the woods, it definitely gets a whole lot harder to travel. You have to steer Shiny around some denser thickets of trees until you get to a point that you can no longer continue with Shiny and the wagon.
Well, guys, we're gonna have to kill the ox.
I cannot. I must keep ox.
I'm kidding.
Well, I
We
gotta
just
say that
tie-
doesn't sound like a good idea.
Yeah. Let's just tie him to a tree or something.
That's what. Will we?
Is he gonna wander off?
There's a stream nearby.
Okay. It's nice stream. Yes.
The water's mostly clear. It's sort of that kind of backwater creek. It's a little dirty, but you probably drink from it.
He's a hearty ox. He'll be fine.
Okay. Oh, my arms from that hard steering. Oh, horrible. And I'll what are you? Do you unhatch an ox? Is that the
Unhinged.
verb that you would use? Unhitch. Okay. There's no
What is
hatch,
this?
right?
What is this?
So-
And
Good map.
This is not like an actual to scale map. It's just a scene map, just so
Oh, okay.
we're here. To give you an idea of what this place kind of looks like with its density.
That's cool. What's this big tree?
So as you, Torwin would know, being from Cathorpe and just sort of coming up, there is rumors of this giant tree rising in the center. Can someone make me like either a religion or a nature check?
Not me.
Sort of.
Not me.
Torwin has a 10 on nature. So Torwin and wow, Crux. So, Torun, you don't remember too much from Cathorp. You remember the rumors, and it has stuff to do with possibly the druids. But Crux, you remember Ma telling you one time as you passed the Ashwood heading to Claystone, that before the gods abandoned the plane, that the druids of Salvanis cultivated this giant life tree over many hundreds of years, and it's sort of the heart of the forest. But she's also told you that since the gods have abandoned this world, as the forest slowly became more corrupt, she sort of guessed that possibly the heart did too. And that is something, Torwin, you would actually know about the Ashwood, is that it used to be an amazing forest. The druids were very kind and helpful to outsiders. The Fae weren't malicious, they weren't tricksy, but after the gods left and Salvanis sort of left from this plane of existence, the forest slowly but surely became corrupted. A dense fog overtook it, and the Fae, they went from these helpful, seely, playful creatures into the more unseelie, sort of twisted, ugly Fae. And the druids, they no longer help those. Anyone who survived a meeting with those druids know them to be vicious and very, very aggressive to outsiders. We're in the Ashwood.
Oh,
We're outside it. We're just about to go in.
DM Chris.
Yes.
This is a thing I've come across in several campaigns. They're different for everyone. Are bards allowed to change your spell nightly, or is that when they level up?
What's the class feature for the bards? There's a specific one for if they can change their
lore,
prepared spells.
Lore bard?
Does any other DM know? Because I'm not too familiar.
I'm pretty sure it's when you level up.
Yeah, that's what I remember it being.
Baseline bards, wizards, bards, warlocks, sorcerers, and rangers all can change spells when they level. But the UA added like a once per night swap. Like you can swap one spell per night. But that's up to you if you want to include that.
Yeah.
Okay. You did just take a long rest.
Bards have a spells known thing.
Yeah. So every level you pick up a new spell that you know. Because you don't have to prepare any spells. You just have this list that you have.
I've just been using spells known as the spells I have. I don't know how that's
These are spells you have. That's how that works. You're doing it correctly, I think.
You're not like a cleric where you have known spells and prepared spells.
Okay.
Like clerics can prepare spells from the entirety of their spell list.
Okay. So level up or what? Just level up?
So you can baseline, you can swap spells that level up.
Yes. That we're going with?
Like, you pick a new one, and you can swap one that you already know.
Okay.
And I will go in with the UA and say you can swap one spell on a long rest.
Woo!
Just because it's like level ups are kind of far and few between. Or few and far. There we go. So it's not quite the time of day it was when you guys took a rest at that camp. So you still have a couple hours left of daylight. It's sort of later in the afternoon. And I should note, JD, you have the amulet, right?
Yes.
So, and you have it like wrapped up in a satchel?
In my bag and wrapped up in cloth.
Okay. You do feel through that a slight kind of thrumming coming from your bag.
Guys, there's a thrumming coming from my bag.
Well, let's check it out.
I take it out. It's still in the cloth.
Taking it out, you can feel it. It's sort of vibrating just enough to be felt.
I think our table's ready.
This is not the Olive Garden or the Panera Bread. and
Specifically Olive Garden.
specifically the unlimited Olive Garden spaghetti pass. But you feel it. It's not vibrating randomly. It's sort of moving back and forth in a general direction, as if it's trying to go somewhere.
Oh, it's like a compass. Yes, it's like a compass.
I mean,
Thank you. Somebody said it.
Well,
Do we follow it? What are you all thinking?
let's follow it
Yeah.
stealthily.
All right.
We don't want to be caught out in this woods.
Should I lead? You want me to lead?
Lead us with
All right. I
compass like jewelry.
start leading the way with this compass. Just watch my back.
Do we want to be stealthy about this?
Do we want it?
I think it would be wise to be stealthy about this. We aren't familiar with the area. We don't know who might be watching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Torwin would definitely remember from his travels here that being stealthy is probably your best bet.
All right. Let's be
Well,
stealthy about
hard
it.
to do that when you're a dwarf in chainmail with a shield.
You would
So that's
remember tried. 7. Okay, let's do a group stealth check. So we'll pass. and
Hopefully
fail
that
as
7
active.
isn't too bad.
All right.
Wait.
Oof. Wait, no, I have a really good stealth.
Ooh, Ren. Spicy. DM, I don't know if you read this from my backstory, but she grew up from like age basically 0 to like 8 in the Ashwood Forest.
Oh right, and then you went to Claystone.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah. So like, could she remember if there was any big like ruins or like special things where it's pointing in the direction, like where it's leading them?
So roll me a history check real fast, as you're kind of remembering these childhood memories.
Ooh, not good at that.
Could Torwin give a help action?
Yeah.
You can kind of, if you're talking aloud about what you remember, and he sort of reinforces things he remembers from recent memory. Yeah.
There's still rooms over there. There's a
that big feckin'
Or
wraith.
nope. Okay, so it's either a 2 or a 4.
Ooh. So you kind of, even though like you were 8 and you should have a bit of concrete memory, if you think back, you kind of get this dark feeling over you. Maybe it was a little traumatizing and you've sort of forgotten a lot of it intentionally or subconsciously
yeah, she's not
forgotten.
the brightest bulb in the box.
It's not necessarily a thing about being smart or intelligent, but maybe you don't want to remember.
Ooh, backstory.
She very much doesn't want to remember.
What are you doing?
What's she doing?
I'm so sorry. He was trying to get Serenity in a blanket, and she was not figuring it out very well. Okay. So you can't remember too much. But Torwin, you would know that there is several elvish temples and ruins abound here.
Do we seem to be going towards a specific one?
Now because of this sort of dense fog, it's really hard to know where you are at any given time when you're not directly near a sort of landmark. So, and especially this side of the forest, you're not as used to as you are the Cathorp side. You don't really explore all the way through the forest back and forth that much. So I gotta say you don't quite know where you are, but roll a survival check for me, just to see if you can kind of get your surroundings a bit more. 14. So as you're going through here, you notice that the trees aren't as dense as they are near the center of the forest and sort of the more dangerous parts of the forest. It's thick, but it's not dummy thick, and you do, however, notice that there's a lot of brambles and things, and so you may want to be on guard for moving through those. And with a 14, you do notice that there seems to be tracks in the ground a bit. Uh, and if you want to try to ascertain what made those tracks, maybe an investigation on that.
Okay. Could I do like a nature,
Uh,
or do you want investigation specifically?
I'm gonna say investigation specifically on this to try to figure out what made the tracks.
I'll call folks' attention to the tracks. But got some tracks here. Let me see. Oh,
Ren uses guidance to help if he needs it.
He just nat 20'd on investigation there.
Oh
26.
yeah, you
26.
don't need it.
So with a 26,
Damn.
you find this this set of tracks, and they appear to be made, a lot of them, with a human boot or a humanoid shoe. And you don't just notice one set, as if one person was walking the forest. As you look around, you see multiple sets of footprints here, and they all seem to be headed in the same direction. You do, however, notice that some of these footprints, they aren't as big as, say, a human's or an elf's would be. They're kind of tiny, like gnome-sized footprints. And you also notice these weird sort of holes in the ground, as if it wasn't made with an actual foot, but more like a something sharp.
like someone was trying to. Oh, like someone has like walking stick sort of deal.
The pattern it's in is it looks almost as if it's bipedal and then on four. It doesn't look like a walking stick as much as it does as if something's moving through this sort of soft soil, and it's its own creature.
More lichen.
I won't say lichen. That would leave like a claw, or a paw track.
All right, that's freaky. I will divulge all that information to the rest of the party.
Let's just keep our eyes out and just get out of here as quick as possible.
Hey. And it's like constantly have like weapons out.
Constantly be on guard here.
I'm going to actually activate my Crimson Right. Because so long as I have the weapon in my hand, it doesn't go away.
Right. Okay, so take the damage for Crimson Right.
2.
Okay. So you guys are all on edge as you're pushing through this forest. It is immensely fogged. So you do kind of have a bit of a limited vision going through here. Following the footprints, you see it's sort of leading you to an area of trees that are kind of thinning out a bit more. So if the past areas were a little thick, but not as thick as other parts of the forest, this is thinning out almost like it's making way for a clearance somewhere down the line, not Clarence.
Can I like be kind of like keeping in mind the corruption of the forest as we continue through here? Like, you know, keep my eye out for any signs of corruption of nature.
Yeah, roll me a nature check real fast. 14. So, usually plants grow sort of, just in their own sort of free way, arcing towards the sun, and just, no sort of thought to it. It's wild, it's free. But these plants, they appear like they're growing in a twisted way, as if to snag and catch people, or to stop people from running, almost. As if you tried to move quickly through this forest, you would be hurt. And these plants definitely aren't just there in a sort of wild and free way. They're there to help things, maybe. If you kind of get where I'm going for.
I would turn to my party and I would say something along the lines of keep your eyes very sharp. The plants in the area are very unnatural. This is not natural. This is dark, and it is almost as if these plants are growing in a way to ensnare us.
As I said, be on your guard.
So, continuing through this forest, and as you're getting to this this clearance, I'm going to move you to a different map. You can't see anything. Now let me reveal the area for you.
Darkness.
It better not be.
So,
Is it Can I tell if it's magical darkness?
no, this is
It's advanced darkness.
this is just fog I haven't cleared up for you. You do have a bit of limited sight from the fog, but go ahead and place your tokens down, if you don't mind.
Would I be able to see anything with
Where?
my devil sight?
Bitch, where are we gonna put them?
Can you guys not see?
No.
Yeah,
think
it's
it's
not
a
even
little
showing our
It's
tokens.
at
I
the
just-
very, very bottom,
Yeah,
guys.
Yeah,
it's
we
the
go
very
to
bottom,
the
folks.
Well.
Oh, there it is. All right.
We're just tiny.
How do you put your own what?
Yeah.
You have to
Drag
drag
the name.
your picture. Drag her.
Oh.
There we are.
I'm off the
Would I
grid.
be able to see anything with devil's? Would devil sight allow me to see in the mist?
Would allow you to see through fog?
Yeah, would it? I'm not sure.
I'm gonna
says
say
darkness.
one of my other players has devil sight, and I once ruled that they can see through fog, so I'm gonna allow you to see through fog.
Okay.
PJ.
Yay.
Which Crimson Rite do you have as well? Is it the Ghost Slayer one?
Well, no. I'm Profane Soul. That's my pact.
Okay, so you don't get the
That's-
one that has light on your weapon.
And that gives you 120
No.
feet of vision.
Me, yes, 120 feet of vision in magical and non-magical darkness.
Okay.
Nice.
So, I'm gonna reveal more areas. I didn't do the advanced darkness, so I'm gonna reveal these areas to Charles. But just say your character doesn't see this.
The thing with light clerics, is they can see really, really far in the dark. I have 60-foot vision, I believe.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't
Holy
be. That's where I was. That's where second me was. So I see
Holy
these things.
Yeah. So you guys continue through, and you're getting to where there's a clearance. You guys can't make out too much since you're still within the tree line, but Charles, looking past the tree line into this thick fog, you can see an elvish temple, sort of this ruin, and you see two of these creatures about this. I thought I updated this map.
I say, we got some elvish ruins up ahead, and also some fucking weird-looking creatures. I don't know what they are, but they ain't nice.
Apparently I
Okay.
didn't update it, but I will draw something right here. There is what appears to be a camp right here. It just has a couple of huts, not too big.
I say, everyone, be ready to fight.
Yikes. How should we do this? Wait, do we see it now, or can we not? Can only Charles see it?
You still can't see it, but I have told you where. I have told you. I have pointed out to you where it is.
How many do you see?
Right now, how many do I see? Because I see 2 on the actual thing. But you said there's a. So.
Yeah, so you see two of, let me describe these creatures to you. They're about 2 feet tall. They're kind of these hideous looking creatures.
Only 2 feet.
They stand about 2 feet tall, and even then they are sort of deformed and they look like they're stooping. So they might be 2 foot tall if you sort of stretched them out. So they're a little shorter than that.
A lot less terrifying.
They appear to have like these claws that are dragging on the ground as they move, the claws are kind of dragging through the dirt, so that it almost looks as if they have to like manually like pull them, like it's slowing them down just a bit. They all over them you see these cysts and sores over the grotesque hide, and it has like shaggy hair and spines that coat their body. You see they have sort of these insectoid-looking eyes that can easily. Well, I'm not going to continue on that, but yeah, that's what you see.
All
If I
right.
could see, I could cast something to distract them, but I can't see a thing.
So you guys, once you're past the clearing, you can see like a 30. Actually, let me roll for fog real fast. Just.
And then do I see any in the encampment, or like what's in the camp?
So for everybody else, once you've stepped past the tree line, you can see about 30 feet through the fog before things start to fade out. In that encampment over there, you see what appears to be people walking around with like picks. They're humanoid, but they are sort of walking around slow and sluggish and not with like a purpose to them.
If those things aren't attacking them, they're probably not friendly either.
Those people seem to be walking in between this camp here and into this temple.
I say
From what?
come back.
What was that? Hello?
I said everybody, be ready for combat.
Yikes. I'll take out my crossbow.
I have a plan.
I take Clarence and I like put the hilt on my shoulder and I'm holding the blade like it's a gun. So I'm ready to cast Eldritch Blast from it like a gun.
Nice.
So it's still like day out, right? So
Fading hours of light.
Daylight.
So still daylight, but night's gonna set in a couple hours.
Do we want to try and talk to these things?
No.
I wouldn't suggest.
I mean, we ain't exactly. Oh, I was mirroring the accent.
Hold on. Is the amulet pointing towards the temple?
Yeah, this amulet, which was sort of softly vibrating earlier, is like shaking almost fiercely, pointing towards this temple.
This is where we're supposed to go.
It almost seems to be like flying out of your hand. What was that?
All right.
If anyone wants to roll like an Arcana check on it, they can.
On the necklace?
Yeah, on the necklace.
I'll do it since I'm holding it.
Okay. The 19 on Torwin. Torwin, you look at what JD's holding, and let's see what JD rolls as well.
Oh no, it's better. It's not worse. It's worse.
Okay.
It's worse.
So, Torwin, you see this thing. It's almost like this this amulet, when it's not being worn, it tries to go back to where it was made. You remember it wasn't doing this when like it was around the lycanthrope's neck, but now that it doesn't have a person or a thing connected to it, it's trying to get back to where it was made.
Very One Ring in that aspect.
Very. Campaign written by J.R. Tolkien. The halflings are hobbits, so we actually have the legal rights this time.
If I cast, damn, I can cast like dancing lights and like make like a humanoid figure and see if they react to it.
Well, bear in mind we can't see more than 30 feet past us.
And
Then
that
we could
would
probably-
give up our surprise.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure we have surprise necessarily once we clear the street line.
they might be
I'm
behind
gonna
us
try
actually.
to. Yeah, we could just stay from the tree line to ranged attacks.
Stay across the river.
Well,
Yeah,
Well,
I said they're across the river. I recommend we
Yeah.
hang back here, hit them with what we can do from a distance. Wait for them to come to us.
Hold
I
1,
think
2.
we should try to use fog as advantage. I don't know if we want to alert the whole area to our presence. I think perhaps we can do this more
They might be-
stealthily.
They might be
No?
adaptable. They might be adaptable to the fog. They might be able to see through it. They might have seen us already, and they might have just killed us already.
I don't think they've killed us already. I think we would know if they'd killed us already.
That's how good they are.
But
They'll
that's
just
my,
get you. and
you
wouldn't
look at
even
your
know.
hand and you see right through it. You are fully a ghost.
All right. So how? So should we just sneak? Like, should like a sneaky bunch like go to the tree right by the? Like, I'm assuming I can see that tree. Right by the stream and like attack from there. And maybe another group go around the front. take him by flank him. I don't know why I'm doing Southern, Charles.
Yeah,
Son of a
That's
bitch.
my thing. That's my
Son of-
thing. Don't copy my accent.
Son of a bitch.
me and Crux can fly, so yeah, if you
You hit them from
we
above.
can,
Hit them from above.
yeah.
Airstrike. A
I
holy
Alright,
airstrike.
I'm gonna move. Can I move over here?
You could. Are you trying to do that stealthily?
I am.
Okay.
I'll go with Charles.
Yeah, roll me stealth. You're standing behind a solid tree.
All right.
I'm gonna go with Charles.
I'm scared. I don't know what I.
Oof.
Somebody
Oh, no.
rolled a 4.
That's not 4.
Oh no!
Did you both
I
roll
made a-
nat ones?
I made a mistake.
I rolled an at 1.
I got a 15.
Okay, so Charles, you go running out of the brush, and just being a thick forest, there's of course debris that's kind of stepped around, and you do the classic step on a stick, and it just loudly as you're running through, and you having your devil sight, you see one of these meanlocks, you see one of these creatures, it sort of turns with like its insectoid eyes. And looks over. You see the feelers on his face just moving, and it makes a. And it hasn't started to move yet, but it is looking in that direction to see if there's something. And you see, like it's looking intently, like maybe it might have some sort of vision to it.
It might
Charles
be
goes,
based on
"All right."
movement.
Charles goes, all right, new plan. I'll distract him. And he is going to try and run. How deep does this stream look?
The stream, it's not a very deep stream. How tall are you, Charles?
Charles is like 5'10".
You'd probably be, ooh. You'd probably be a little below your waist is where the water would rise. So it's
All right.
yeah.
How wide is it?
The width that is on the map, so about
So like 5 feet.
5 feet.
at its longest.
I hate water.
All right, yeah. Charles is just gonna yell, "For Clarence!" and
Clarence,
run
for
and
me!
charge, and charge at this at the closest thing.
And then Toro
I don't know
looks like
what to call it, but like he's charging at.
Okay.
Toro looks
Yeah,
like this.
As
That's our
soon as
cue.
Ren sees that, she activates her wings and starts flying.
Okay.
Art seems to pause and then says for the third time, I had a plan, but I suppose no one really cared.
Buddy.
I will say that stuff was happening sort of while you could speak. So if you did want to talk to someone while you were
Well, I tried to say it a few times, but I don't think anyone heard or
Dude,
kept
speak
talking
up. Wait,
at
I
the same time.
want to listen.
I think people kept trying to talk at the same time. So I was gonna say I can imbue a non-magical item with 5 foot of bright light, and seeing as we don't know what's over in that encampment over there, my plan was to basically peg a rock with bright light to about this kind of area, and see if we can attract both those creatures over here and whatever's in here all to one spot, and then I can shoot them with fairy fire, so we have advantage on all of them and can see them all.
Mm.
That's a really good plan if we were listening.
Damn it, we need to work on our listening skills.
And if I hadn't rolled a nat 1 on stealth.
I'm sorry, Art.
Well, Art, you could have done that while Charles was sneaking up to this tree, if you'd like.
Yeah, seeing that no one seems to be paying attention to her, she just goes, well, I suppose I'll have to take matters into my own hands.
No answer is a yes.
And touches a rock and throws it here with bright light on.
Damn, she got a
If that
home on her.
would that happen before I scream for Clarence and charge at this thing?
You scream for Clarence, and you see this rock that's just imbued with light fly over and land over here. So these meanlocks, they see Charles running as they can see through the fog here, and they also see this light. So their head snaps just, and they see this light, and they almost turn away from it when they see it, and they go, and look back to Charles. And let's roll for initiative.
Oh boy.
Okay. Light
These
sensitive.
Natural 1.
No, 19.
Get those ones out of the way.
I'm like breaking my neck doing this like popping sound. I need to stop. Okay.
It just auto-filled it. That's cool.
Oh,
Or
nice.
was that from last time? No, it wasn't. I rolled a 16. All right. I just need to double check something for my plan, which I sort of have.
33 initiative.
Mhm.
They roll
What's
with
your
advantage.
bonus to initiative?
No, I rolled
Oh,
two
okay.
20s, so that's a nat 20 and a 13.
33. Also, why does Torwin have 7.12?
Yes, that's exactly what I said.
Because I have the initiative tiebreakers on. Because the whole idea is like if you tie initiative, like I'm pretty sure that Crux has a higher dexterity than I do, right?
I think so.
You have like a 14 or whatever.
Mine's a 15.
Then you should go before I do.
Oh. Good to note. You rolled an 11 this time, right, Torwin? Or did you roll a 7 this time?
I rolled a 7.
Okay, I'm going to delete this old 11 from this list, as it seems to have counted it twice. And this time,
If I don't
ART,
get to
you
play
rolled 4.
Charles in combat the way I really want to, which is, you'll see. But it's going to be so cool.
Okay. I would love to see. So this one that rolled a 22 is actually the one on the far side here. It's going to run to where it heard the sound coming from.
Where's the rest of us on this turnover?
I have a 19, but I don't know where to put it in.
Same with my 7.
You need to click your characters and then press initiative, and then you can edit
No,
it
but like
after.
my character's not on there. Like,
Yeah.
period.
Do you have it selected when you
Yeah.
press initiative?
Oh, you're on the turn
No.
order. I see you right here.
Maybe I should refresh then. Maybe I should just leave.
That might work. Roll 20 happens to glitch like that sometimes. We actually had an issue last night where some darkness didn't go away and they had to refresh the page. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. You still don't see yourself on the thing? Okay.
Not there.
I'm gonna remove all turns, clear the whole thing, and put you all back on the turn list, and hopefully that'll fix it for everybody.
Oh,
There I am.
So retype in your initiative on the left there, or wherever it's up for you.
What about Renesmee
And me.
Oh, yep. Oopsie
and
daisy.
Art and Drone?
You
Well,
don't need to
Drone
put
doesn't
Drone
get
on.
initiative. He just goes after you.
Well, excuse me.
You guys are.
Also, should I move Charles since he was charging?
So, yeah, on your turn there, we'll have you move. As you kind of screamed, and then you were going to move. So the screaming started the initiative, and then you move. Feel me?
All right.
Gotcha. Renesmee and ART, you are up there now.
Cool.
Then ART got a 4. And descending. There we go. So
Did it, guys.
this Meanlock has already
Yeah.
taken its turn and has ran to where this tree is. So, Charles, you see this thing sort of hunched over and stooped, just scrambles as fast as it can to where it heard this sound, just as it runs across the field here. And that's actually going to be his turn. That's as far as he can. 1 second. He actually runs to where that tree is, And then, Charles, as you see him, he sort of disappears into the fog and reappears
No!
right in front of you.
I hate it!
And it rears up in front of you, just.
I hate it! Make it
and
stop!
That is its turn. Renesmee, you're
I
up.
hate it. I hate it.
Cool.
We and Spooky Boy is ours.
Charles, protect me.
I
Oh, well, there
will.
goes my plan.
At least
Yeah,
we
my
can
plan was
fly.
partially I'd planned partially involved moving over there, but
There's
I
no
guess I
plans
can
in
do it
D&D.
from
Just
here.
do.
My
It's like
plan
improv.
was to
Yes,
do
and.
an area attack, but fuck me, I guess. So I'm gonna guiding bolt the fucker in the back.
Yeah.
Second level because I'm gonna upcast it to second level because I feel like it. Hopefully I don't eat those words. Does a 13 hit?
No, a 13 doesn't hit.
Fuck me, I guess.
So you go. You're doing a guiding bolt. So you go to throw out this this radiant bolt. It flies toward the mean lock, and as it sees this bright light coming for it, it goes and scrambles just a little bit out of the way, and it flies right over him as it stoops a bit. Yes.
Cool. Okay, so Shield of Faith. It's a bonus action, but can I still use it if I cast a spell for my regular action?
Yeah, I'm done.
No.
Usually.
Only cantrips.
Yeah, usually you're not allowed to
Okay.
cast 2 spells in the same turn.
Only
You can still cast a cantrip and a spell.
Yes.
Like a cantrip and a bonus action spell and like a
Yeah,
cantrip.
but yeah, exactly. So you've already used your
It's just like
action.
the bonus action spell.
Right, you can't like burn
Cool.
2 spell slots. Unless you're doing
Yeah.
like a sorcerer thing.
So I'm gonna Sacred Flame the one by everyone else.
That's not a bonus action though. That's an action. You already used your action.
Yeah, it is. I need to read my spells. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
That's it.
Fine. Are you gonna move?
I already moved myself.
Okay. That takes us to the next turn. I also realize I don't have music playing.
That brings us to. Is it Charles now?
Yes, it should be Charles. Here we go.
All right. Charles looks at JD and says, "You're gonna want to move out of here," and he's going to cast darkness on himself.
Okay, and that's is that 60 foot or? I
Let
can't
me
remember.
double check. Yeah, it's a 60-foot range.
It's a 20-foot radius.
20 foot radius.
Yeah, 15-foot radius sphere.
Okay.
You'll see why.
I'm black.
Right.
And then I'm going to bonus action Hexblade's Curse on the dude in front of me.
Okay. I'm trying to make this shape very poorly. Is that right? That's 10 feet. Really bad at this.
Yeah, that's a 15-foot radius.
Yeah.
Okay. There we
That's
go.
a big square.
That's 5, 10, 15. Right. Charles, 15.
That was bigger than I was hoping it was, but like, yeah, I guess that is.
It's one square up.
On the top there? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, just scoot everything one up, and then it'll be fine.
Oh, the entire thing went up?
Oh, could I have positioned it so it's so all my allies are not covered in darkness?
Does it come from you, or do you pick where?
You targeted.
I can
yourself.
pick wherever it is. I just said it was on.
So do you want to do it? None of your allies are in it right now, actually, besides JD.
Okay, yeah, then we're good.
I think you can get both of the enemies in it if you put them right on the end corner.
Not quite.
That's a bit like.
Don't know if that'll work.
Okay.
Yeah, no, not quite.
So you see like a black flame appear in front of Charles, and the flame begins to spread, and eventually the entire area is enveloped by darkness. Okay, what are you doing?
I mean, that was his turn.
Is that a
Yeah,
whole,
that was my turn.
no moving, no nothing?
I'm not going to. I use my bonus action to Hexblade's curse the guy, and then that was my turn.
Okay, there we go. It is now that the one stuck in the darkness with you. So it actually no, it's not.
It's
It's
the other
the other ones. You are right.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go. It is going to make a similar action. It can no longer see where the sound came from, but it sees where the guiding bolt was cast. So it is going to run towards you. Renesmee?
I think Renesmee is up in the air, though.
Oh, she's flying.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's gonna try to run over to you. It can't reach you. And it's just gonna look up at you as it doesn't see anybody else, as you guys are still in the tree line and you haven't done anything yet. Besides Art, who threw the light, but the light's still kind of they didn't really see where it came from. Okay, that's. Ooh, I want to say that's its turn. Yeah, it can't do anything else. You're not within 10 feet of that creature, are you, Renesmee? How far up in the air are you?
I'm pretty far up, like probably 15 feet.
Okay. So it won't be able to do that. Crux, you are up.
Hello. I will. Yeah, I'm gonna stay in the coverage of these trees, but move closer, seeing that this beast is coming towards my non-breeding facility cousin, and I am then going to cast my cantrip of Toll the Dead.
Okay. May make a wisdom saving throw. Okay. I have the turn order right in front of it. It fails.
Yes, so I will.
Yay.
Yeah, it hasn't been hurt, so it's not the D12.
Oh, great.
So you go and ring this bell. It sort of resounds a little bit, and just a feeling of dread comes when heard. And this Meanlock, it tries to resist, but it's sort of sullen and hurt by this. Taking 3 points of damage there. So I'm bad at math, but that is the number. There we go. All right, is that it? Crux?
Yes.
Gotcha. Torwin, you are up.
Alright, I will run up to this one here. And Booming Blade. Wow.
Oh.
Truly. Wow.
So you run up here to where you see the spindly looking creature. As you run up, it just looks at you and it throws you off a little bit as you go to attack, and you do manage to miss a bit. Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I got. I'm at burning my one spell slot on this.
Oh no. Alright, JD, it is dark.
I was standing right, like, behind Charles, right?
You placed your marker right beside him, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said you can move out of here.
Yeah. Since I'm not really any use because I can't see in it.
Mhm.
I'm gonna just like reach out my hand and put it on his back. And I'm just gonna say, "You got this. You're not alone." And then I'm gonna give him a bardic inspiration.
Oh, that's nice.
Uh,
I suppose I made a community reference. That's fine.
Should I move? I'm not in a. Well, there's a tree right there. How tall is that tree?
I'm gonna say you can't really see the top of the tree out of memory, but it is 20 feet up, so it would be like just the top of it would be out of the darkness.
I'm gonna climb it.
Okay. So you have a climbing speed of like 30, right? So you can definitely make it to the top of the tree. And from the top, you can see this other Meanlock in the river.
So they're. Oh yeah, that. Okay. I do have an action. I think I do. No, was that my action?
No, that was just your movement and a bonus action for Bardic Inspiration.
Okay. If I can see it clearly, I'm gonna cast. Can I? I can see it, right?
Yes, you can see it as you're above
I'm
this
gonna-
darkness.
I'm gonna cast a Phantasmal Force at it.
Okay, another Wisdom saving throw.
It's intelligence.
Intelligence. Okay. Not many of those. That's a 16. It shouldn't have had the plus one.
It saved.
Okay. You try to conjure up these images in its mind, and it seems to shrug them off. It's probably tortured enough. And that is your turn. ART, you are up.
So, seeing this darkness appear in front of her, she decides to head towards the other one that has and uses fire.
Firebolt? You cut out there, sorry. I didn't push it up.
Yeah, sorry, firebolt.
Okay, that hits.
6 fire damage.
Alright. Nice. So you run from the woods and throw out a blast of fire. It hits this insectoid creature, kind of spilling this flame on its carapace, greatly damaging it. 6 got you. Mark that down.
And then I will use my bonus action to control Drone.
Okay.
And seeing as Drome and I can see where each other are, I'm going to get it to run through the darkness and still know where it's going to...
Oh, okay.
So that it can go there
Right.
to get in range for my bonus action of attacking.
Mm-hmm.
It is being flanked, though, by Torwin, so...
Right. You said advantage.
Oh, no, wait. Torwin missed, didn't he?
He did miss.
Oh, so do I have advantage or not?
That's not flanking. Flanking would be on the opposite side of me.
Yeah, behind him.
I mean, I can go all the way there. He has 40 feet of movement, so I can go here. But will I get the 20 or not? Because no one's hit it yet. Oh, I've hit it. I hit it.
Yeah, you hit it. If I was a hard ass, I'd say you already moved and then attacked, but I'm not gonna be like that. Okay, 3. Gotcha.
It doesn't do that much anyways.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm at on that. Okay, that is ART, and it's back to this one in the darkness. This is magical darkness, right? Yes. It cannot see you, but it is going to attempt to hit you, so it does have disadvantage on the attacks. So does a 14, 14 hit? Charles.
Yes. 14 does not hit.
Does not hit. Okay. So you can see it, and what this creature is doing is you see its sort of yellow insectoid eyes just looking around, furiously searching for you, and it begins throwing out its claws, just, and it's getting frustrated that it's not connecting, just, and that is its turn. It's not going to attempt to move since it thinks you're still here. Renesmee, you are up.
Okay. Let's try to guiding bolt the one closest to me again.
Okay.
Just it's regular level this time.
Okay, that hits.
Dirty 20. Okay.
And now the next attack on it will have advantage, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And since I am in my wing form, I do more radiant damage.
Do.
Jesus.
Only if you hit with a. Well,
What?
what's the language of it?
The language?
Oops.
What did you ask, Torwin?
Of the radiant soul thing.
Hmm?
Okay, let's read it.
or a spell. Okay, yeah, never mind.
So what was the total damage you did there?
1 second, I'm still putting it all in.
Gotcha.
18 damage, 18 radiant damage to
Wow.
that.
So where you're flying, your radiant wings sort of holding you aloft. You see the wings when they come for the downbeat, they close together, and you see from when they touch, this another guiding bolt shoots out and directly hits the Meanlock this time. It shrieks as its eyes are filled with this blinding white light, and you deal a heck ton of damage to it. It is not looking healthy at all. It almost looks like if the river was a little bit stronger, it'd be pulled down. And is that your turn?
Yes.
Gotcha. Charles, you are up. You are in the hexagon with this insect.
Right,
In
Charles
the
is going to-
hexagon with the insect.
He's going to use his final spell slot to cast a branding smite.
Okay.
Then he's going to make an attack, which crits on either a 19 or a 20 because of Hexblade's curse, as well as other stuff that I should know.
Mm-hmm.
I get a +2 bonus to damage rolls, and I gain 6 HP if it. Okay.
Excuse me. What did I do?
And roll for Clarence.
There we go. So yes, a 23 does hit.
Right. And that is unfortunately, I rolled an 18,
So
which
not a
means
crit.
it's not a crit.
Gotcha.
But I was so close. Alright, so that is 4 slashing and 4 psychic. That feels incorrect. Okay.
So that
Wait,
was
it could be I just rolled really poorly.
a D8 plus 3 for the sword. You rolled a 1 on the D8, and then
Yeah.
the
2d6 would be 2 2s.
Actually, that was only 1d6 that was rolled for the smite.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it only says 1d6.
I think it should be 2.
Just go ahead and roll a d6 real fast.
Yeah, I'm just gonna double check that I'm correct on that. It is an extra 2d6.
Okay.
Oh, I'm doing the wrong smite. That's why.
Okay.
So that's an extra 11 points of damage.
All right. So you're in the darkness with this this insectoid creature, and you just come straight for it, and manage to hit, doing branding smite, and you do a good bit of damage to it. So that's a total. Okay. There we go. That seemed to hurt it a really great deal. It doesn't look healthy from that. That brings us to this one in front of Torwin and Drum. It is going to attempt to use its fear aura. So everyone within 10 feet of it, I need you to make a DC 11 Wisdom saving throw.
Why am I not surprised?
Torwin, these rolls tonight. And does Drum need to make one? Yeah, he saves. So Torwin, you are frightened until the start of the creature's next turn.
Do I have to move away from it, or am I just frightened?
You are just frightened.
You can move closer to it.
So just disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls.
Well, I'm in line of sight.
Right. And yeah, that's its turn. Bringing us to Crux. Josh, we can't hear you, by the way.
Oops. Sorry. Hey, I'm gonna toll the dead again and raise this sound in the creature's mind as I focus on it.
Okay. Oh, nat 1. And that's also the D12. And is this on the one you see, right? Gotcha. So you once again resound with this toll of the dead, and as the reverberations go through the air, it hits the Meatlock's ears, and you see it's just sort of on the brink of death. It succumbs, and the creature dies. So there's one remaining, and is currently in a black square. Brings us to Torwin.
Can I hear the sounds of? Can I hear the sounds of fighting in that black square?
You can definitely hear the sound of like an eruption of radiant energy slapping or slashing against this thick insectoid carapace.
Can I attempt to hit it?
Yeah, you can attempt to hit it at disadvantage. No. And you're no longer frightened since, you know.
I mean, even if I was, it wouldn't stack, so
Right.
I'll attempt to booming blade with disadvantage.
15 hits.
Excellent.
Just hits. Is that 16 damage?
Well, no. It's 15 damage, and if he moves, he takes 4.
Okay.
4 thunder.
Got you. 15 damage. Lovely. So you run in here. You don't know the state of the battle. You just hear the sounds of it, and you throw out your blade. It connects with something, and you hope it wasn't Charles. But you think it's not Charles because when you connected, the creature said. So,
I swing low.
hopefully that wasn't Charles making that sound.
One can hope.
JD, you are up in the tree.
Is anybody from the camp coming over? Do we see any more movement?
So when you look over that way, you see these humans with this mining equipment. They should be able to hear this battle, but you see they are just walking in and out between this temple. They have this sort of dull look in their eyes. Roll me a perception check real fast.
Ooh, that's an unnatural 20.
You see around every single miner's neck is an amulet.
That's all I can see. Does it look like the one I have?
From this distance, you can't make it out, but they are wearing some sort of amulet.
Okay. Was that my action?
No, that was just a free perception check I gave you, just to look over
It's still dark below. I'm not going down there.
Love Dark Souls music.
Nobody was really hurt, so yeah, no, I'm good. I mean, I think I'll hold my crossbow attack in case I see anything pop out of the fog, but no.
Okay, so you're just holding an action to see if you see something coming out of the fog. Got you. All right. That brings us to ART.
So she's not really gonna know what's going on inside there, so she kind of like just turns away from the fight and is just like, well, nothing else I can do, and just starts kind of advancing on the temple.
Okay. Getting closer to this temple, you see it is elvish in design, and so sort of it's the same age as you are, sort of, since you kind of came from that ancient elven ruin, and it looks like similar to the place you were activated.
Okay, yep. And I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast. So imbuing my sword with magical fire for the next hour.
Gotcha. Nice Ruby reference there. And all right, you.
It just works so well. It's a rapier. It's a chick. It's red.
Good point. It does manage to work together quite nicely.
Everything matches up. It all adds up.
So anyone who can see ART, she just begins in perfect form walking towards this temple, and while she's walking, almost like the Abyss Watcher's fight, where his sword becomes lit with flame, so does ART's. mid-stride. And
Well, for styling points, then can it be like I kind of flick my wrist and all the flames come on it, and then I skewer it into the ground like a high jumper would, and use it to propel myself across the river, landing in a perfect kind of crouch, and then just moving towards the temple the rest.
Gotcha. Can you
But like
maybe-
pulling it out as I come, like as in like kind of just like as I shove it into the ground, kind of turning my body into a pirouette and perfectly throwing myself across the river while grabbing the sword behind me out of the.
So
What did you pull out?
So she basically pole vaulted over the river with a flaming sword. Is much more eloquently described. So I'm not gonna say this impedes you at all, but roll me just acrobatics and also an extra d20.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
And it is.
The sound she makes. Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like an error. Like.
Also, roll me that d20 real fast. Just flat.
You take 20 points of damage.
That is not where I'm at. Nat 20. So you see Drome as he sort of watches you do this. You, in your mind, sort of in your mechanical robot mind, you perfectly envisioned how you're going to execute this. But just like running code, there's sometimes that occasional bug, and when you stick your sword into the ground, the mud's just a little too wet there. You manage to go over, but you do kind of you're tumbling through the air instead of perfectly falling there. But despite that, Drum raises up a little 10 and gives you a 10 out of 10 for that jump.
Aww.
He pulls out a placard, writes 10, holds it up.
A little whiteboard just.
And I say, flawless execution.
Absolutely no arrow. You run
with
over.
like mud dripping off me as I skid across on the other side.
That was the plan.
So it is the mean lock in the dark. It doesn't know what's going on, so it is going to run away.
Me, honestly.
So
Attack of opportunity.
you do get an attack of opportunity.
It also
both of
takes
you.
4 points of thunder damage as it leaves its space.
Okay.
It's Clarence time.
You did
Clarence is
15
hungry.
damage, so it only had. Oh shit. Okay. So as it moves, a thunderous kind of this cacophony comes from it, and this thunder damage shakes it. And from that, it's trying to move and it stumbles a bit. And Ryan, with Clarence, you perfectly are able to attack it. And roll me damage on that.
6 slashing.
6 slashing. So after this thunder sort of explodes off this creature and it attempts to move through this river, you hit it in its back, and the sword just cuts right through this carapace you've already weakened. It splits open, and with its dying little breath, it goes and begins to float down the river.
Yeah, and then you see a green energy get sucked from it into Clarence. Yeah.
I mean, we don't see that. We see nothing.
Oh yeah, you
Yes.
don't see that, but I see that happen.
Clarence is like, "Oh, yes, yummy, delicious, delectable carapace.
Cannabis.
It's cannabis.
Delicious cannabis.
Honestly.
Has anybody listened to the Adventure Zone, the Amnesty art?
I am currently listening to the Adventure Zone right now. I'm on episode 24.
Which arc are you listening to?
Oh yeah, that's right. Let me go and find it. Just real fast one.
Because there's a talking sword in Amnesty that every time the sword talks, I just imagine the talking sword.
So
And it's
I'm
tripping me up.
basically when the Adventure Zone had just started.
So you're in
I'm,
balance.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm still on balance.
Yeah, the Here Be Gerblins arc in Balance.
Right now I'm on pedals to the metal.
Hell yeah.
I'm loving it. And okay, that
love
is
that arc so
initiative
much.
dropped. You guys, I'm going to say this darkness after the time minute. It goes away. Greenlock be gone. If you want to collect some things off the insect bits, Crux, you definitely can.
All right, we're done. Good session, guys.
Yeah, that's it. You still see this sort of human mining camp over there, and there doesn't appear to be any more creatures on the outside of this temple.
Did you drop darkness?
Oh, yeah.
The people up ahead don't seem to really care. I think.
Can we cross the river? Just like it's easy to.
Yeah, it's a slow-moving, 5-foot wide river.
Can I leap across with my strength score 17?
I want to see this little dwarf try. Little dwarf jump.
Okay. Do you want me to roll an athletics check?
Are you just trying to like jump? Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
trying to just jump across the river.
Yeah, go ahead. If you don't want to get wet.
Oof.
I'm sort of imagining that scene from Lord of the Rings with Gimli. Is just like toss me, but you've got no one to toss you. So you manage to jump most of the way, but up to your ankles gets a little bit wet there at the end.
You know what? That's fine. So long as my axe is literally sparking electricity does not land in the river, it's fine.
Would be a good tactic.
Just
Aurora takes Crux's hand and like flies him over.
Aw.
I'm also jumping.
Awesome, our besties.
You don't even jump. You just on the landing, you just fall back into the river.
yeah. Crux, you're in the water, in this sort of muddy water, just laying there.
Is the necklace pointing towards the temple or towards the camp?
Towards
And
the
nice bath.
You know what they say in old country.
They say
River
bath in river is better than bath anywhere.
Backwoods Bath is better than Old Bath.
I'm sure I want to
We'll get
visit
out
the
from
old
my
country.
bath.
When the wolf tries bite you, you say no wolf.
This old country, I don't know if it's a good place or a bad place.
I don't want to
Jerome
visit
is
it
gonna
anytime
come
soon.
over
Find
to you.
out.
Jerome is gonna come over and like buffet his wings at you to try and dry you off, like with a little.
Hairdryer.
I thank wonderful creature of air wings. Yes, thank you.
Alright.
Knowing Ren, she's forgotten that her wings have a time limit and she probably fell
What
back.
a tip to creature?
You said you were 25 feet up? No, I'm not gonna.
15.
15. It's a d6 for every 10 feet, right?
I think so.
That is how fall damage works, but don't.
I'm not gonna do that to you. I'm not evil. If I was,
I was running a campaign on Friday, and I made the first enemy fall damage.
Oh no.
Your players will not like you.
So you see Renesmee up here flying, and her wings, the radiant energy is so like bright and shining begins to flicker off, just and she kind of stumbles,
Falls from
to
the
the air.
sky. No, I'm just kidding.
Just kind of have them over your hanging there, just blink.
Lands with a soft thud as you land in some swamp fawns. Yeah, what are we doing? There doesn't appear to be anything sort of patrolling this place right now.
Should we go towards
Looks
the camp,
like
or should we?
beautiful house. Should we move in? Yes.
No.
No.
It does look like home. I have no objections.
Location's not too good.
Did anybody get injured in that fight?
What is real estate like here? Good? Yes.
No, there's no real estate this far out into the Ashwood. You get any?
Hey guys, now's not really the time. We're
Not the
kind of in
people
the...
you know.
Can we
Should we-
go talk to this group of
miners, these teenagers.
Definitely. So you guys walk up to this little camp. The houses are they're I wouldn't even call them a house. They're ramshackle, just shanty town-esque huts, and quickly thrown together just enough for people to live. These miners here, some look like they're resting in this camp right now, but the ones you see resting, they look like bone tired. Not necessarily resting for pleasure, but like mandatory rest in order to live.
Mandatory rest hour.
And,
Are they thin?
They are Their skin has just a complexion of like dark sooty look to it. They appear especially wan and sickly. And they do look incredibly thin.
As soon as Ren notices
Can I just
that,
say really quick, Crux would be totally uninterested in the dirty people, like, and he would just be looking at the walls over here, because, like, look at this beautiful, like, thing. So, yeah, I'm just saying, y'all
Uninterested in the
totally
dirty people.
interested.
All right. When you guys approach, these miners kind of give you sort of a dull-eyed look, like they're not registering you. As you get closer, though, you see they have bronze amulets around their neck. The amulets themselves, however, don't have like a wolf's head. These amulets instead have what looks to be a mining pick on the end of it as its symbol there.
Hello?
I'll grab one of the amulets and just rip it off.
You rip it off, and slowly the miners' eyes that were once sort of had this fog to them, they clear up, and they focus for a minute. The pupils dilate, and they look directly at you, Torwin. And they're
You back with us?
Where am I?
Middle of the Ashwood.
Ashwood. Not from the Ashwood. I'm from
Where are you from?
Kethorpe. Last place I remember is Kethorpe.
Do I know this guy?
You might.
Are they all dwarves?
The one you pulled this necklace off, he doesn't look like he doesn't look as roughed up as the other ones here. He maybe
This
has
is
a
makes me
hair.
worried, because if he's from Kethorpe, shit's been happening in Kethorpe then.
Your mom is here then.
yeah, does anyone look suspiciously like Ren?
So with this history check, you remember this guy. His name is Smith the Smith.
Smith?
Smith
Oh.
the Smith.
Smith the Smith.
He was the blacksmith at Kethorpe, and but you haven't seen him around in maybe a fortnight since you had left Kethorpe.
Smith. Hey, it's me, Torwin.
Oh, you're the dwarven lad with your mother, Renesmee, but not Renesmee.
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 Rudolph. Yeah.
Yes.
He says to you, so what do you do? I switched voice. What are you doing I can't get back to it. It's gonna be dwarven now. What are you doing in the Ashwood?
We're out here searching for some folks about this wolf amulet that we found back in Sentinel and the gate.
He looks at it. I've never seen an amulet like this. And you know he was just wearing one.
I pulled the amulet he was just wearing.
What's that?
Well, you're just wearing this. Oh, well, that drifted so cockney.
We're switching here.
Back and forth.
It's a theme. It happens.
He says, no, I never wear jewelry.
I know. So what do you last remember? Because you've been gone a fortnight.
Last thing I remember, I was out in the woods collecting firewood, and then well, that's about all I remember. I walked out to wood with my axe, and now I'm here.
The rest of the miners, are they also dwarven?
No. Not all of them are dwarven. Some of them are half elven or elvish. You don't actually see any humans in this group here.
So
I'm gonna go to
all Oh, good.
Does Ren recognize anyone?
Anyone from Claystone?
Well, she's not originally from there. She's from Kethel and surrounding area. So just like I'm guessing not.
So you would recognize Smith the Smith.
Yeah, she really was. She was born in Kethorpe, but then like left 6 hours after she was born.
Oh wait, then you wouldn't remember anyone from Kethorpe if you were just a baby, with no memory retention. So no, you don't notice anyone from any of your memories.
Still gonna help them. So
Yeah.
goes around taking off, cutting amulets.
So
Yeah, me too.
You do that, and you begin pulling off all these amulets. Their eyes begin to focus, and as soon as you do take off these amulets, you see they start vibrating and trying to go towards the temple.
Our table's ready.
Yes, all 5 of them.
Jesus.
6 of them actually.
6 tables. My God.
They already have the bread there. It's great.
Oh my God. We should get moving then. Bread's there.
Damn, now I want bread.
No, I just want bread. So we just asked generally, like, do you all remember anything? Where are you from?
So you get about the same clamors that these people don't remember of the last thing they remember doing before they wake up, looking at you with these amulets in hand. All of them seem to share a collective link that they were alone and sort of, well, not alone, they were just sort of taken, in a sense, and brought here.
All right. Do you all need help to get out of the forest, or do you want to stay here and wait?
The Smith the Smith says, well, I can't really speak for the rest of the people here, but I think none of us are in a state to go on our own, especially for the Ashwood. And he looks at Torwin. Yeah, I know. I've known you've been out there a couple of times, or in here a couple of times. You know, it's not safe.
I'll take out like 5 of my rations and distribute them amongst the miners. And just be like,
as soon as you take out food, it's as if all at once they remember they're hungry. As if they haven't eaten. You know how it is. Like, you don't think you're hungry until you see food. Sometimes. And they all thank you. Smith tips his hat and says, if I do make it back to my forge, definitely giving you a special price. To all of you. He looks around the room.
Special rewards.
How about you lot stay here? We'll go investigate the temple because we came here to do that. If we're not back in like
a day,
like we'll camp out here before we go in because it's like nightfall now, right?
Yeah, it's about nighttime.
We'll be camping out here tonight, and we'll be investigating the temple tomorrow.
That's nice.
If we don't come back out of the temple by nightfall tomorrow, you should probably try to make a break for
Negate.
Negate, yeah. That's probably the closest region.
Or just out of the forest, period.
Just out. Just
get out.
We understand that. We'll
Jordan Peele get out. Like that kind of get out.
make sure to. Okay. Got you.
We'll if no one else will, I'll escort you back out of the forest when we're done.
Thank you. We'd appreciate it. You see another member nod his head, and they all collectively nod, and they start to kind of just sit down and settle down. They look extremely worn and tired. Look at you guys being heroes.
But I.
All but Crux staring intently at this elvish wall.
He doesn't like poor people, apparently.
I'm more interested in Wall. Sorry.
Racist too.
This wall is interested in you.
The Wall talk to me?
You've been staring at this wall this entire time, and maybe in your mind you just imagine the wall's talking to you.
Are there any markings on the wall?
You do see some old Sylvan runes. Sylvan
Oh, I
Elvish
speak Sylvan, so can I just like read along?
So what you, just reading along, you see this is it just sort of tells Elvish history, how their civilization rose from the sea of chaos into order, and they built their tall spires, and they learned magic from the moon, and yada 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 Elvish history. If you want me to add some notes on the Elvish ruins and temples for you, I definitely will after the session.
Cool.
Ancient...
Hey everyone, there's this boring book over here. Stop speaking with dirty people. This is interesting.
Well,
I'll just look back and go, Crooks. I'm gonna need you to take it down a few notches here.
The wall in your mind says, "You call me boring? I am wall. I tell story. You know what they say in the old country: story from wall is worth more story than rock."
I would say out loud, speaking to the wall as if everyone could hear it. Wall, you are right. Yes, thank you.
Lovely. So I think this is a good ending spot for the campaign tonight.
I didn't hear the tonight part. Or
we're done with the campaign. You guys
and
are.
the campaign.
Yeah, we're finished here. Nice job, guys. I've enjoyed DMing.
It's so short. It's too short.
That was like 3 hours. I think.
Yeah.
That was 3 hours. It was 3 hours and 4 minutes.
Okay.
And this is probably a good place to stop because we're about to long rest before we delve into this dungeon.
Right.
Yeah, I'm looking at a wall.
I wasn't expecting a session full of fighting. I was. I apologize for that.
It's fine. It happens.
It does happen.
It happens when when the collective party's not great at stealth.
That is true. It's dark for you all. Whoops. Let me turn off the fog.
The map is dark.
Darkness descends on the land.
The map is dark and full of the old country.
It was old Jesus.
The map is dark and filled with dirty miners.
And it's just about that time that you see a miner begin to stretch across the map.
Oh.
Jesus.
See? I told you. I had no interest in speaking to these people.
Just minor.
I love the beer.
I have a question.
I think it's time for me to ascend to godhood.
How do we see the amulets if they got them beards? Like, are these big amulets? This like Flavor Flav chain?
So I wasn't doing
my
Flavor of love with the miners?
Look at the material.
Flavor of dirty miners?
So I wasn't going
They're
to...
just walking around with these amulets, just look at the material. You can be the judge. Oh my god, she spit at me. Oh, I can smell it. Oh! Ooh.
What? One of these elvish people are like, I don't like this. It's my best taco impression. Okay. Well, if you guys have any questions, make sure to DM me. If you want to say anything now, I'm still free. Yeah.
Can we make this like